Hello, guys. It is the 30th of December 2018. It is 2 days before New Year's, and you know what time it is. It is the infamous, the long awaited, the 2018 award show for 4-player anime cast. So, episode 108, we're getting
How,
right. Yeah.
so how was everyone's year?
It was pretty good, but again, we'll get to that. So, yeah, as Toast said, again, getting right down into it. We'll be doing the award show as usual for repeat watches of this. We'll be just going through some general awards like, best character, best visuals, best OST, stuff like that. And last but not least, we'll cover stuff like least favorite and best or favorite series. Talk about some stuff, leave some afterwards, and that'll be it for the night. But yeah, so I guess if you guys do want to start with the retrospectives, but we should probably keep it to anime stuff. um, for me, I guess this last year was pretty interesting. I think, although I was a little bit busier in a sense, I actually tried to reach out and actually because for the past past year or two, people are like, oh, you haven't watched any anime or whatever it is. So I actually tried to branch out a bit and actually watch the series a little
Wow,
bit more.
how adventurous of you, Spire.
Yeah, exactly. Actually watching anime, and I was like, I was pleasantly surprised by this year. I think despite all of us saying,
Oh, holy shit! You really didn't watch anime.
shit. No. Well, what I'm saying is that although individually we're like, each season is like, flat, or it doesn't have this or it doesn't have that or whatever. Looking back upon it, I was pretty pleasantly surprised by the number of series that I think I could have, at least even if I either liked or gotten used to, or even if I didn't necessarily like them, I could respect other people watching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
like Alicization.
No, but I think it was a stronger year than I think most people would give it credit for, or at least it was a continuation. It was a decent continuation of a series of or a series of sort of steadily stronger years that I think I'll explain a little bit more at the ending of this episode. But I feel more optimal about, or more optimistic, excuse me, about sort of how the years are progressing, and it's not this whole 2011. It's not like, 2011 was the worst or was the peak of anime and everything was just a decline from here. So at least that's how I see it. What about you, Dark? What did you think about this past year or so?
What?
What did you think of this
What
past
did you
year
think
in
about
anime?
What did
Yeah.
I mean, me and Near were actually talking about this, I think, yesterday.
Mhm.
And I was like, this year, why? Like, winter 2018 was kind of where everything was, and then it slowly got worse. Like, there slowly became less and less shows that were both interesting and then also wound up being good.
The thing is, well, each season was just like overall, it was again trying to find diamonds in the rough. But I think if you collect all the stuff from this year and then compare it to maybe some other years, I think it was relatively solid.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not to say that there wasn't that many. It was just that it felt like it was more front-loaded than anything.
Yeah.
The problem me and Dark ran into when we were talking about it is we were looking at last year, and we were like, "Oh my god, last year was good every season."
Yeah, there was a lot of strong adaptations, like a lot of strong titles, just dropping in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
But
like
you-
Arrow Manga
even-
Sensei in spring of 2017.
I think it also didn't help that Shaft with this year essentially took like a break. Like they were just doing whatever they wanted with Monogatari, and they didn't give a fuck about anything else, right? Kill Ani also kind of waited until the very last minute, I think, to do kind of some stuff.
What are you talking about, dude? Violet Evergarden?
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
yeah, man. Eurocamp, Death March.
Well, let me rephrase. Kill Ani took until the last moment to pull out anything more decent than Violet Evergarden.
Kiwani came out swinging with Violet Evergarden, and then I'm like, oh wait, that was at the beginning of the year. Shit, we're gonna make something.
But I think I do agree with a little bit of modification. I think it was pretty strong at the very beginning, and then it kind of like flattened out for some reason during the sort of spring, summer, some of the fall stuff. But like this, I think this fall was a little bit stronger than I expected. Like, I don't know, I like stuff like Zombieland. Hinamatsuri was this fall, right? Or was it summer?
I don't even
What?
remember anything from summer.
What
yeah.
show?
Hinamatsuri?
Hinamatsuri was spring.
Oh, it
Oh,
was spring. Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, so it was earlier. But I feel it might have just been me just zooming in on stuff like Zombieland. Maybe ramens. But I feel like there was some stuff at the very end or like this season that were surprising me at least. So I'll have to look back at what exactly the rotations were. So, but did you want to say anything else about the year?
No, not really. I mean, I don't think. I don't know. I think last year was a lot stronger. I feel like this year kind of
I
did.
think 2017 had a decent amount of like from what I'm seeing here, like I actually listed from 2017 to 2013 here, like some titles that I was like, oh, this popped out to me and stuff like that. I think last year there were a lot of like strong titles, but it wasn't as numerous. Is sort of why I think my perspective might be like this. I think 2016 was the part where like just everything just like came out, like everything just came out.
Yeah, 2016 was ridiculous.
But I don't think on average 2016 was not necessarily as strong as all of the titles that just came out in 2017. You know what I mean? So it's like so 2017 filtered out some stuff a bit. But Nier, on the subject of you and Dark kind of like mulling over this, what do you think about this past year?
So you fucking suck dick, dude.
I think we had a lot of seasons where we were like, wow, Nier, there doesn't seem a lot for you, huh?
Yeah, this year sucked ass. Like, I mean, fuck, dude. It's like winter, right? Winter comes along, and it's like, bam, Violet Evergarden. Bam, Darling in the Franxx. Bam, fucking Koiwa Amiyagare. It's great.
Yeah.
Bam, Kokoku. It's great. And it's like, there's so much good shit in winter, and then you get to spring, and I'm like,
What? This man just gonna leave out fucking Eurocamp like that?
I didn't watch that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. The thing is, the funny thing is, it's like, I mean, it's usually supposed to be stuff like stuff like summer and like fall-ish. That's supposed to be a little bit better than winter, right? Because winter again is as we've gone over countless number of times in this show, is the sort of experimental phase, whereas the summer and fall stuff is where stuff like Summer Comic Con, like all this merchandise, and people are kind of traveling around. There's like Golden Week and stuff like that, so it's there's a little bit more like pressure on people to like put out the big series and put out good series on summer and fall. But I think, I don't know, it feels like this experimental season, the winter season, is slowly becoming sort of the more solid season for people to pick a series that's not only unique but also producing it in an actually like decent way.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of echo the sentiments that Dark said earlier, where I think the year started off with a bang,
Mhm.
and then for me at least, it kind of just like slowly whimpered off because like
Yeah. I think it also doesn't help that there were still like big series scattered throughout the year, but they weren't necessarily good series. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean there was like big names.
Yeah, exactly. Like Pop
but-
Team Epic and stuff like that, but it's like
Yeah.
Pop Team Epic wasn't like.
Are you
A
sure?
lot of them.
I don't know,
Oh,
man. Pop Team Epic was immediately got on Adult Swim. It means it's pretty big.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's sign of quality, dude.
Quality adults. Toast. What did you think about those last year?
The entire year. This is winter, right? 2018. Yeah, the entire year was good.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
did any seasons or any like specific things like pop out to you, like trends or anything like that? Like just large scale trends.
You want me to name one series from every season? All right, I got you. Winter. You guys already covered winter. You guys skipped over spring, though. You know what was in spring?
What?
I think that was Mahou Shoujo site, wasn't it?
Wow, Shoujo Side.
Was that this year?
Yeah,
Was
this
that
is here.
April?
It was this
It was,
year, yeah.
Or is that?
I don't know.
That's either spring or summer. Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all.
it was Mahou Shoujo say it was in
Oh
spring.
God.
Yeah. How could you guys skip over that? And then you skipped over Isekai Mao in summer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Alright, let's-
y'all are hating.
Toast, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
And
Do you
I-
unironically
I-
like these shows?
Is
Do
this-
you
is this
even,
how the
do you
tone of the
even
show
give a
is gonna be?
fuck about Isekai Mao? Because
do.
like that show ended and it may as well have never existed.
Yeah, it's all right.
Isekai.
It's
Okay,
like,
the
But,
thing is-
but you
you
guys,
know what I mean? Like that show
Yeah, I
ended.
know.
No one talks about anything that has ever happened. It is like one of the only shows I have ever heard you mention so much, and I still know nothing about it.
That's the point.
The-
It's not for the normies like you.
the problem is it's like with what is it with Isekai Mao, like all the people that are coming in new to watch the anime are like, oh, it's like another one of these series, and all the people who are like were anticipating Isekai Mao were like, oh, it's a good promotion for the light novel, I guess, and just went back to reading the light novel. So it's like in either case you're just like, oh, okay, I guess this series is what it is.
I'm not saying that Isekai Mao is like awful or something. Okay, I watched like 5 minutes of it. And I was like, all right, this could be like fine.
An entire 5 minutes of it, yeah.
But I'm just saying, I found it strange that I don't hear literally anything.
Yeah, it's an interesting series, and by interesting I mean it's you have to be a degenerate you have to already be knowing of Isekai Mao to get into Isekai Mao. Like there's
You gotta be in
That's a
the
paradox if I've ever heard of it.
know.
You gotta be. It's like watching Rick and Morty. You gotta have that high IQ.
Extremely
It's
high.
it's the Rick and Morty of isekai, man.
God damn.
Yeah.
Probably not a good
You
thing.
forgot about
Alright.
what was in summer? A Soviet asshole base? Yeah, that was. Didn't you like that one, Dar?
I didn't
Asobi Asobi.
forget about it. We haven't started yet.
Yeah, we haven't
don't-
started yet.
what was
We're
it-
just talking about general stuff.
I heard Valkyria Ironjar. Yeah, good show.
Valkyria, yeah.
I mean,
That's a terrible show.
The show was actually garbage.
But yeah. This year was front and butt loaded with the good stuff. The middle's not so much.
Loaded.
Not at all.
A word.
I disagree.
It's like how I write my essays. I have a super strong
A buttload of
opening and
stuff.
conclusion, but the middle leaves something to be desired.
Okay.
It's like eating a bad pretzel roll that you buy for
Oh.
$5 at your local deli.
What the hell? Alright.
Sure.
You've never had
Wha-
freshly baked pretzel rolls
Why
from
not?
the deli? It's so good, but then the middle's like barely any meat and stuff, and it's like, oh,
I don't think there's meat in pretzels.
Yeah.
you've never
No,
had
wait,
you've
what?
never had a pretzel roll, pretzel sandwich, whatever it's called.
Yeah, he's talking
What
about
the
like the
Fuck are you
sausage.
talking about?
He's talking
No.
about the sausage wrapped up in the pretzel bread.
Yeah.
thing.
It's like
I think-
I'll just eat the bread, and I'm like, oh, the insides, I'll just feed it to my dog,
Wait, then why don't you just get a pretzel?
so I can feed the
No,
inside
he
to my
wants
dog.
a sausage. There's no sausage in the middle, right?
Yeah,
or do
you
you
know,
just want the pretzel?
I
you
just
know,
want. I just
sausage
want.
is
He literally
known
said he
for
just
not
wanted the
having meat in
pretzel.
the middle.
He buys a
Just
pretzel.
wait. So you
dog.
buy a pretzel bun with meat, but you're like, wait, I just want the pretzel.
Yeah, so I just feed the inside to my dog. Everyone wins.
Just walk into a McDonald's. Hey, chief, can I get a burger? Hold the meat though.
Hold the patty, please.
Hold the patty. I don't want the.
McDonald's doesn't have pretzel rolls though. Pretzel buns.
Oh my god.
Why don't you
dude.
just go to a supermarket and buy pretzel buns? Then?
Because you know how much effort it is to put stuff in it yourself. I'd rather just cut
You
out the
just said
middleman.
you
You
don't want
take
anything.
the stuff out though.
You just said you don't want anything in a pretzel
Wait,
roll.
But then, what will my dog eat if I'm lazy?
Wait. What I'm curious about is every store that usually sells like a pretzel dog, right? Usually just sells regular pretzels. So it's not
Yeah.
like he-
It's not
They
this.
buy-
It's not the same thing, Spire.
oh my god.
So you want
Maybe he
like
wants hot dog
flavor.
flavored pretzels.
Yeah, it's like a soup. Like you cook
You
the
just-
sausage and you put it in there, then you just take it out anyway.
You just want the scent of those pretzels like on your
Seasoned.
pretzel.
I want
Or
my
the scent of those
seasoned
sausage.
bread.
But if it's
Yes.
good, I'll eat it. If it's not good, then I'll give it to the dog. It's the same thing.
Wow, you know what I hate, guys? Don't you just hate it when you get bad food? Like I know a lot of people like it when they get bad food, but me,
What's
I hate
happening right now?
like what you say?
Oh my god.
You know, like sometimes at the supermarkets you get the $5 pizzas on certain days. It's like that.
And then you take all the pizza off, or all the cheese off.
If you don't like it, then it's like,
You scrape the sauce off.
Anyways, we need to move on. We need to move on. So again, we'll be starting with pretty standard stuff.
What
We'll be
about
going
you,
down.
Spire? How was your year?
I already said that at the beginning,
W-
but
Oh.
thanks for asking. Host. So I guess we'll start with best character, and each person will just give, like, if they want to, a really quick explanation of their criteria, and then go into explaining what their choice was. Again, pretty briefly. We have a decent amount of awards here, so. So best character, usually I see best character as some obviously realistic character, a character that moves the plot, a character that sort of I think these days, since there is so much emphasis on railroading the plot, a character that can sort of carry its own weight in the story while being still organic is probably the best character for me. And for that, I'll pass it off to Savannah Kamui, who is the main maid in Uchi no Maid Ga Uzasugiru. So our maid is too annoying, or whatever its English name is.
Is that the one with the eye patch and the muscles?
Yes, it is the one with the iPad.
Do you want me to? What's
So-
her name again? I'll pull up a picture for you.
Tsubame, and then you can just do like maid or something like that, maid anime or something like that. So the reason why I picked her again, she kind of helps run a major part of the plot, and the introspections and the retrospections are all sort of part of the story, and she does obviously have strong interactions, and those are also a big part of it, because the issue is obviously it's easy to get lost in the whole, like, the main kid lost her mother, and it's all sad, and it's easy for the pace to get slowed down. But with this character, really keeps it well up, keeps the slapstick comedy going, and so on and so forth. And she is like an actually pretty unique character. So, or in terms of just like themes, right? Like muscle maid, stuff like that. That was not something I expected necessarily.
I
But,
think she could take on Van Darkholm in a fight, but not Billy Harrington.
Uh, but it is. I do sort of really like the way the character again sort of keeps the pacing going while still being available for these sort of deeper introspections. So for that, she gets the best character. I don't necessarily mean that all the other characters and Uchi Maid is like the best anime ever, but in the series itself and among other series, I think this character does stand out in terms of what she brings to the story. Dark.
This is gonna get pretty interesting later. Bring up something. Wow. So I actually realized now I never decided.
Wow.
So I'm gonna have to think about it.
All
really
right.
quick.
You want to
And
pass off to Nier or what?
yeah, pass it off to Nier first.
Yeah. Okay. Nier.
So for me, the best character is kind of a tricky thing because
Yeah.
I don't usually, I don't really like being like, oh, this character is like objectively well written and stuff like that, right? So, I usually just go with like general likability or
It's a randomly an asshole.
yeah, how well they like blend into the cast and character interactions and all that stuff. And so I went with personally my just favorite character in general that we've had throughout the year, which is Sugimoto Saichi from Golden Kamuy.
Yeah. It's
He's
almost like
just
JoJo-esque. Like he's almost JoJo-esque, like in terms of like how he.
yeah,
presents.
he's just I mean everybody in Golden Kamuy is super likable, but Sugimoto is just he's funny, he's badass, he's Sugimoto the Immortal and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, he's just I think a really really fun main character, and so I just gave it to him.
Yeah, he definitely has that sort of like it's a sort of like stoic, like it's sort of like the Jotaro air around him, right?
Yeah, he's got that badass air around him, but then some slapstick thing will happen and he
exactly.
screams
He's
at the
chill
top of
about
his
it.
lungs
Yeah,
and
exactly.
looks like a big idiot.
Yeah, he also allows for slapstick. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah. Toast. Best character, please.
What defines a best character?
Oh, we're starting from here. Okay, keep on.
Is it how much you like the character itself, or how much you like the series in general? That the main.
I would say it's how much you like the character. Because this is best character, not best series. Just gonna throw it out there.
Really
Well,
makes you
it
think.
depends. It depends on the concept of the whole the best character itself. Is it the best character because their series is so good that you really liked it?
Well, the thing is, it's hard
Does
to have a good character in like a terrible series. It's rare. It's not like unheard of, but I think it's rare. But I'll keep going.
are you sure? Because there's this one character
Yes.
that I like. That's
Usually
in a
bad
terrible
series involves
series,
having
but
bad
I'd still like the character. But yeah,
Go for it.
my favorite character this year is it's Goblin Slayer.
Oh my god.
Shut up, dude.
Keep going.
It's not.
You want to explain?
It's not. It's Nero from Fate Extra.
Nero.
Last Encore.
Fuck off, man.
Nier is not happy. Nier is not happier about that. But keep going. If you want to add a few lines about explaining.
What can I say about Nero that makes her the best character this year? Let me pull up my my bullet points. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Bull. Okay.
Number one.
Uh-oh. Okay, keep going.
She's the best saber by
Okay.
far. Even
Okay.
though she's technically the third saber, if we're counting Fate prototype with Proto Saber, and she's the original red saber. Do not confuse her with Saber of Red, which is Mordred. Number two, she's basically Nasu was quoted as by saying, Nero is basically what he would have written Iskander to be if Iskander was a girl. So she's the woman at Iskander. Makes her
Okay.
super good. Number three, she should have had a cameo appearance in Fate Apocrypha. But
That adds inherent value to the character.
Wait, I
What?
took off in a different
because
direction.
there's a part in Fate Extra where Saber is encountering Vlad, and she's like, "Oh, we would have been friends if situation permits." So I'm saying she should have made a guest appearance in Fate Apocrypha because that's where Vlad was before he turned really weird. They would have hung out.
Yeah, she could have been a real piece of shit, just like Vlad.
No, no,
So you're saying she should have been summoned for like half of a scene
yeah, why
and then
not?
unsummoned?
Sure, why not?
Killed immediately.
A cameo appearance is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's how servants work.
Number 4. Where do you
How many bullet points are there?
like
Just-
32?
All right, can you make this the last one?
I'll finish with these last two. Number 4.
Okay.
Where do you think we got this Padaru meme from?
The depths of hell.
You know how those people have been spamming Padaru all year and all year, and I'm like, you spam it on one day and one day only. Don't overuse it. That's because they're the normies who don't know the true origin of Padaru. You see those videos where they're like, what is the origin of Padaru? And they're like, oh, this is a character from Fate Extra, and I'm like, no, you idiot. It's not from Fate Extra the game. It's from Koha Ace side material, where she was featured in one of those like mini movies. That's not part of the game. That's a side story. That's an OVA. You should know your side material.
These aren't qualities of the character, Toast.
Okay, so
Number 5.
all right.
She's really fun, and it's always a pleasure to see her on screen, even when her own anime is not very good.
Okay.
I'm always super excited when Nero's on. She brightens up the room, and she's
Okay.
she's the most animated and is the most dynamic. If I want to say, she's the reason why the plot moves forward in Last Encore. Because the main character is a loser. In this dystopian future of 1,000 years after Fate Extra game, whatever. Nero's the one standout that doesn't lose hope amongst all the depression and anxiety stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
Nero's pretty cool.
Okay.
Why doesn't she have a Christmas outfit yet? She's got the colors.
Yeah, Toast,
Give
please.
her a hat.
Okay. So that was Toast's selection for best character. That will move on to best overall cast. So again,
I didn't even
You skipped
fucking
Dark.
finish. What?
Sorry,
I didn't
yeah,
do mine.
sorry, I forgot I blame Toast for this because Toast went on for so long explaining the good qualities of
All right. Well, I mean, listen.
Keep going.
I still didn't decide, but I'll decide now, and I'm giving it to Karen Kohiromaki.
From Asobase?
No, that is the main character of Sword Art Alternative.
You mean the I got
Yeah.
you.
That's her real name.
The super tall
Not
chick?
Mhm.
She's like what, 7 feet tall?
Yeah, she's like 6 foot something.
8 feet tall? Gotcha.
But anyway, I'm gonna give it to her, primarily because I thought her characterization was really good. I think there's a nice dynamic between her. Starting out, you kind of think that she's gonna be sort of like the quiet protagonist that doesn't really understand the shooting game. But very quickly, that goes away, and you realize that she's kind of a awful person in that sense, where she'll just kill everyone she sees without hesitating. So I thought that was pretty cool, especially since it's not like they do it in the way that she's a monster, and they do it in the way that she doesn't want to have any confrontation with other players, so she kills them immediately, thinking they're coming after her.
Wow, just like me in real life.
Exactly. Trying to think of what else. Her changes throughout the story were pretty good too. Like you can definitely tell that her character does. I don't want to say adjust, but she does go through character changes of like sort of becoming more and more stubborn in a way and out there. Basically, like when she starts getting the sort of, what do you want to call them? I don't want to say goals. They're not goals. It's something that like it basically she gets forced in this situation, and she has to adjust to it. Of like when Pito is saying, if you don't kill me, like if you're not the person to beat me in the next battle royale, then I'm gonna kill myself outside of the game. Like when she finds out that,
she kind of gets like railroaded into these plots or into these like arcs.
yeah, like she gets forced into these positions and she definitely adjusts to
Right.
them. And her character changes for it too. Like she becomes more and more bold and takes more and more risks.
Right.
And so I thought that her character really sort of brought the story along in a really nice way.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. I didn't expect that answer.
But the
definitely-
big question is she better than Kirito?
Yes, actually, Sword Art Alternative is better than any other part of
Yes.
Sword Art Online.
This is true.
I will contest that later on, but continue.
Okay, so moving on. Best overall cast. I'll just quickly explain. For me, best overall cast is mainly not just about having like, good characters and stuff like that, but they all interact well, and they all interact well in a large of a group as possible. So the author can handle everybody kind of being in one room and kind of bouncing off ideas one another, and it's not just this like sort of like one-on-one interaction, which are important. What happens is that when writers are too focused on writing these sort of one-on-one interactions, kind of they try to simplify them, right? It turns into like a master-servant interaction, or it turns into like a strong rivals interaction, or whatever, or lovers, or whatever it is. So it's very like that's the problem I see. So I think a way to see an author's real sort of like true metal in terms of writing these realistic characters is to throw in everybody into a room and see how they interact. In that case, I picked Takunomi. So, it doesn't have like a lot of characters.
Takunomi from what? Give me the full
No,
name.
it's best cast. Takunomi is the name of the show.
Yeah,
It's Takunomi.
It's
a period.
The girls like drinking and stuff like that.
Is that the drunk? Yeah, that's the drunk one. I got you.
Yeah. So it doesn't have like a lot of characters just bouncing around all the time, but the characters that are present sort of tend to interact, pretty much constantly within, the entire group. So within 3 or 4 people, and they keep up the interaction, they keep it organic, and I do like that a lot about the cast, and it keeps it very sort of like stable instead of some person getting really pissed off, or like 2 people having a secret affair, or whatever random stuff is happening. So I do think that Takunomi for me had the best overall cast from the stuff I watched.
Is this why you like Kaede so much? Because she drinks?
Yes, she drinks all the stuffs. Dark.
All right. So for this, I chose Hinamatsuri.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
And I'll
definitely
keep
the
it,
best.
I guess, more brief than the last explanation. But I thought Hinamatsuri had a really good cast because of the amount of sort of just juxtaposition between characters. Without having Hina and what is it? The other like
Matsuri.
psychic.
Ansu?
Matsuri.
No, it's not. Yeah, Hina and Anzu. I thought like their juxtaposition was really nice. And I just thought overall like the characters really played off of each other very well.
Right.
Even like Nita and I guess yeah, no, honestly it's just pretty much every character in the cast played off each other really well. And there didn't seem to be any character that didn't have a place or anything like that. Like
or,
every
like-
character was very well used.
Yeah, and they kept like running in and out pretty fluently.
Yeah, their appearances were frequent enough where you didn't forget like the character's place in the show,
Right, exactly.
but
exactly.
not too frequent as to not be seen as a supporting for the supporting.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, and that made for a nice balance between both slice of life and comedy and sort of more like somber. So,
Yeah, when they have to actually talk about the supernatural powers and everything. Yeah. Okay. Near.
Um, well, my criteria for overall cast would probably be similar to best character, but more regard to character chemistry and stuff like that.
Right.
So I I picked Golden Kamuy
Mhm.
All right.
because
Solid.
the main three, which is Sugimoto, Asurpa, and
Yeah.
fuck, what's the other guy's name? I
The
forget
gray
his
hair
name
guy?
now.
His name's Kamui, right?
the convict.
Yeah.
But they all play off each other like just so extremely well,
Hmm.
and the way that they can bounce between comedy to serious drama into action
Hmm.
into some like trivia about like Ainu culture and stuff, and it's all pretty seamless, and it's just they mesh together really well, and I
Yeah.
think
I do like also
even
how
the villains that would come back like every once in a while, they're all really likable as well.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
also do like in the action scenes how they also like actually work with each other in somewhat equal amounts. It's like kind of like watching some sort of like Star Trek kind of thing instead of opposed to Star Wars, where it's like the point I'm trying to make is that like in a more like Star Wars in a more like hero worship kind of setting, it would mainly be Sugimoto kind of like blasting through everything, which he still does a lot, but it's like and in a more like unified team sort of Star Trek like setting, like what in that one scene where like for instance like Sugimoto's trying to run away on a carriage slash horse from from the villain with his like head blown off or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like Asurpa is just like finds out everything, chases after them, helps shoot the horse with a poison arrow or whatever, stuff like that, and it seems very like, oh, she's actually helping out. It's not like oh, this character needs some value at the last moment, boom, she blows stuff up. It's not like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all the action stuff is very well choreographed. It's quite nice.
Yeah. Okay. So that was Golden Conway and Toast. What was your best overall cast?
I forgot.
If you say something like Fate Apocrypha, I'm like just
Was that
like,
that this year? I'm pretty sure it was last year. Maybe even
okay.
2017.
Good stuff.
Because I was gonna say Nero from Fate Last Encore, but
It's not a
that's
cast.
not
not
a
a cat.
there was barely a cast in Fate Last Encore.
Not a cast.
It was just
There was barely a story as well.
There was just Nero, Rin, and that guy.
So do you have a cast?
And
Or
I'm
you want
gonna.
or what's going on here?
My favorite is probably going to be Goblin Slayer. Woo!
Okay.
Okay. I was gonna give the Slime Tensei, but then I was like, I can't be bothered to remember all the goblin names.
I don't think you need to remember.
I remember
you
all
definitely
the.
don't.
Are you sure? But what
I'm
about
pretty sure.
what about the 100,000 orcs? Don't I need to remember all their names too?
No, I
not
don't
really.
think so.
Yeah.
But okay, so you had.
I was gonna
Goblin.
say it was Slime Tensei, but that has a strong main cast as well. But it's mostly centered around Rimuru. So yeah, they're all good in their own way.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Goblin Slayer has a stronger cast because they're more. How do I say this? Sure, they're all centered around Goblin Slayer, but
they're more independent.
They're more independent, yeah, and they each have their own role in this story, like actual party roles too. You got the healer, she got her stuff, high elf archer, dragon shaman dude, and the drunk dwarf. They all have their own roles. They all have their own way they play things. They're not just.
I get what you're talking about, but I also keep I keep laughing because there's this radio show like just for like promoting Goblin Slayer or like Nikonama stream, right? And it had Umeru Yuichiro or something like that for the Goblin Slayer role, right? And Yuka Iguchi, who did Cowgirl role, right? So they're going over each of the descriptions, and it was like, oh, Goblin Slayer is very stoic, he's very silent. The main hero and the priestess, blah blah blah. And they had all these like descriptions on like the screen and stuff like that, right? And then it goes to Cowgirl. Yeah, she has big breasts. And that was pretty much like all that was the description. There was like no like background or whatever. It was just like, yeah, she has big breasts. It was like, oh, okay. But yeah, I definitely do agree that the characters in Goblin Slayer do seem a little bit more like independent and willing to work with each other and not just be stuck around Goblin Slayer and just talking to him all the time.
And it's also easy to remember because they're based by class names. So each of them is their own unique class. And then you got
Yeah.
the lance dude. You got the magician. You got the hero. All that. They're easy to remember. They all
Yeah.
have their own roles in this story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Mhm.
My honorable mention is to the cast of Zombieland Saga because no one else said it so far. Y'all jerks.
Okay.
You,
Okay.
you don't like zombies?
Okay.
Can't wait for the Blu-ray release where they're gonna English dub all the songs.
Okay. So with that, we'll move on to best opening / ending. And for me, again,
Was that two categories or just one?
no, just one.
Eh,
Wow.
Okay.
All
So, for me again,
Fuck me, I guess.
you can do
I
two.
mean-
I'll allow it.
I listened to. I mean, there were some suggestions from last year's awards that I kind of combined the two. But that aside, I think for
Who's
me,
going first? You Spire?
we're keeping the same order every time. Yes.
I forgot the order.
Toast,
Literally just did it.
Yeah, Toast, let me
I'm
do
not
this.
paying attention.
So best opening / ending, I think for me, honestly, the theme this year was don't try to stay off like just standard pop / rock, and two, don't waste like a minute on the build up. If I'm hearing like just like a standard just rock blasting out and just transitions into like 30 seconds of essentially a vocal solo plus build up, I'm immediately turning that shit off. Like it's so tiring to hear that standard stuff, and so I picked Goblin Slayer opening. So that is rightfully by Millie, and it is very both the phrases are pretty good. The build up isn't painful to go run through. The general sort of the genre specifically is pretty good. I do like it. Although it might be a little bit more, it's so like edgy, like gothic, sort of like ballad rock kind of stuff. But I do still like it a little bit more here. Some honorable mentions: Hakume Tomikuchi opening. I also did like the ending for Uchimade or Uzamade, sorry, which was like the rap that Namakura Manami did. The maid's voice actor did. I really like that one because it was pretty catchy. So yeah, but definitely going to Goblin Slayer opening for best OP/ED.
I've said this before, but the Goblin Slayer opening reminds me a lot of Fate Apocrypha's opening, Egoist. Whoever made it, it has the same feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Egoist also does pretty similar stuff, although they sometimes do rely on some a little bit stronger like metal / rock stuff. But yeah, Dark, best OP/ED.
Well, now I don't know if I'm gonna change mine.
You
Let
can
me flip a
list both
coin
if
real
you
quick.
want right now. Yeah, you can.
Wow.
You gotta
alright.
you gotta roll the die. Get it? Because there's a lot of dice
Well-
in Goblin Slayer.
Sure. My best OP goes to Kokaku. My best ED goes to Megalobox. I really like the
Kofuku
ending
Graffiti
song.
opening? What?
No, not that.
Which one?
Kokaku,
the
which is this is the occultic series and has the
Oh, okay.
song
I
flashback.
got
I thought the audio visuals in the OP were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
As for Megalobox's ED, the ED itself was like doesn't really have a lot going on with it, but as far as the title crawl, a credit scroll goes, I thought that was really well done,
Yeah,
and the song is really good.
Okay.
Breaking up, by the way, Spire.
Nier, what's your shot? Opening ending.
My best opening since Dark did Kokoku, I'm going to give it to Darling and the Franks' second opening.
You don't have to do something different.
Ooh.
You can say one.
Ooh.
Yeah, whatever, dude. It's got to have variety, okay? We can't have this be the second everybody gives awards to fucking Mob Psycho, all right?
I didn't.
Yeah, whatever.
That's not true because then after that, everyone gave awards to Hoseki no Kuni.
Shut up.
You know,
Hoseki no Kuni deserved it.
we can praise the stuff that's
Nier?
okay.
Is this the Evangelion opening of our generation?
Shut up.
It reminds me a lot of Evangelion.
So I picked the Darling and the Franks OP2 because it's much more, in my opinion, it's much more visually striking than the first opening. It has
the first opening was just acid, like more or less.
Has a very different tone to it. It's much more somber. It depicts, the romance between Hero and 02 much better. It depicts the struggle between like the entire cast much better.
Right.
And the remixed song is a nice touch as well.
Yeah.
And for ED, I just wanted to say that Hisone Tomaso-tan's ED was extremely well done.
The opening, I really liked it too. If vocal was a little bit stronger, I would have probably picked it for my opening.
Yeah, but the reason I picked Hisone Tomaso-tan's, like, just honestly, like, without contest for me, was because Hisone Tomaso-tan's ED is actually the voice actors from the show singing a very, very old French pop song, which is Les Tombes de la Rentrée. And it's a song about a girl who's like she's upset because she went on vacation with her parents, but her boyfriend couldn't come, and so she wants to go back home.
Yeah.
And I just found it, pretty funny.
So much of that is like it's not even like nostalgia as in like references. It's just like nostalgic in terms of like time period. Like,
yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, that's best OPET for me.
Okay, toast.
Mine is going to be. I had a toss up between mine. I was down. I have a top three. My number 3 is Sakura is Clear Cards opening, sung by Sakamoto Maya. I don't remember the name of the song, but it's like going on or something. Whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And then the top 2 struggled within my head for a while because the way I determine best opening ending is how many times I replay it.
Okay.
Like a lot of times when I like something, I just pop up the YouTube and like, here, let's play it.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Like even if I'm not watching the episode, it's all that. So I thought about it long and hard, and I'm going to give it to Sword Art Online 3 Alicization opening.
Okay.
Adamas by Lisa.
Yeah, Adamas.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's got rock.
Adamas is pretty bad, but I'm not sure whether.
I really like the first
rock.
30 seconds. It's just this sweet drum solo.
Yeah.
And yeah, Lisa's a very strong singer. If you don't know who Lisa is, she sings generally at least one opening of every Fate series since 0.
Lisa's definitely got very good vocals.
Yeah, she did one in Fate 0. She did the first opening for Unlimited Blade Works. I believe she did the second opening for Apocrypha.
Yeah,
right?
She's a very requested singer. So.
Can you believe she made a band just for Angel Beats? That's crazy.
Yeah, she's
that
really
band
good.
Was created for future Fate series. I think you're mistaking this.
Right. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, Lisa's also the primary singer that's done openings for Sword Art Online 1, 2, 3, Gun Gale,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
think Alternative. Don't quote me on that. No.
No.
All right.
No,
Yeah,
that's
she's good.
No,
She's a very
that
strong
was,
singer.
Okay.
And
I want to say that was Nakamura Eri.
okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably different because
No, Eri Aoi.
Okay.
The first she's
Air.
best known for the first Crossing Field, the very
Crossing
first
Field, yeah,
opening ever.
exactly.
And
Crossing
this is
Field.
like a return to form for her.
Return. I'm not sure if
Even though she's never left.
Yeah, I don't know if you should use that term, but okay.
And that
So-
and my honorable mention, very close second by like 0.01%.
Yeah.
Is Bright Burning Shout.
Oh.
You know what that one is, right? That's Fate Extra Last Encore's opening.
Yes, I know.
It's super simplistic. It's just Nero fighting a bunch of invisible things, but it's I really like
Very
that.
boring.
Thank you, Toast.
No, it's
for,
not. It's not
that's
boring,
okay.
Nier. It's the most important part. You cut
You
Alright.
just
out.
don't get it, Nier.
You-
You don't. You're not
just
enough of a
don't
saber
get
fan.
it.
Like,
You just cut out everything that's unnecessary. You just
Yeah,
leave
like
it.
Focus
you
on
know, like
Saber.
Fate Extra did. You just cut out all the story, and you're left with
that's why there's
9
a slash
episodes
before
of
the extra, dude.
You're just left with
That's why
Nero.
there's a slash before the extra.
Yeah, you're just left with Nero doing Nero things, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, alright.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you, Toast.
The song's not that bad either. It's by the dude, by a famous singer. He's done Gundam Seed. He's done.
By a famous
I don't remember his name.
That's some famous singer, dude.
He's done
Yeah.
insert songs for Gundam Seed. Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I like Bright Burning Shout.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Toast, for your best OPED. And now we'll just quickly.
You notice that most of them were all openings?
Yeah, because there are a lot.
Typically
a lot of
open
people front load. A lot of people front load these days with openings for obvious reasons. But and also EDs are usually supposed to be quieter, and then they kind of devolve into more or less very samey sounding stuff. But either way, moving on to best overall soundtrack. For me, this might be a little bit of a surprise to people. The selection I choose. I obviously, or the soundtrack mainly has to do two things. One, it has to be good on its own. Duh. It has to have like individual BGMs that I'm like, oh man, I want to listen to this. I want to put this on my music player. I appreciate the exact piece of music that this thing is doing, or like the instrumentals and stuff like that. And the second one is, the synergy. So it's like, this not only has good BGMs that I notice and appreciate, but within the scene, within the anime, whenever this thing comes on, it really adds to the specific thing that the anime is trying to convey. So with that in mind, especially at the second point in mind, I think my best overall soundtrack will be the Megalobox OST. So it does have like a lot of focus on these sorts of, very, I want to say, drum bass, sort of electric guitar heavy stuff. But I think in terms of how Megalobox sort of approaches it, obviously a lot of wrestling scene, or not wrestling, excuse me, what the fuck? I mean boxing scenes.
Don't you mean basketball?
Same thing.
Yeah, but basketball, boxing scenes, and more importantly, getting ready. Right? It's like going up to that boxing ring and stuff like that, which also is sort of important to build up the hype, and it's usually a lot of times where the sort of the hype BGM comes from, because it's like a lot of times with BGMs in the middle of action, it's very sort of like samey, right? Because all it wants to do is want to be background sort of pump up music. So I think it fits really well. But very strong recommendations, honorable mentions to the Uticamp OST. Obviously, very good slice of life stuff, and they also have there's a lot of BGM, like different BGM. Like if you look at the OST titles, they have different BGMs for every different camping site, for instance. So it's very, very cool. Violet Evergarden OST, obviously Kyoani coming in hot with that, and a little bit of shout out, obviously, to Persona 5 animation and
Really?
Persona 5 OST.
That's cheating, dude.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
cheating,
that's
that's why-
Lotus
that's why I
juice.
Yeah, why don't you
Yeah.
just give a fucking shout out to the JoJo fucking
I
soundtrack
know,
at that
man.
point.
That's why I didn't put it for best overall soundtrack. So that's a little bit of shout out. It is cheating, but Persona 5 OST. But anyways, Dark.
All right, so mine, I'm actually going to be giving to Hakame to Mikochi.
Which one is that?
That is the one with the little people,
The
Okay.
Inchlings.
where they're like they're the little like forest sprite people.
Hmm.
I thought that show had a really, really good both opening and ED, as well as just a soundtrack in general that much in the same, pretty much filling all the same categories that Spire had mentioned. That was essentially how I had judged my pick, because they do use the open during the show at certain points, but um, in like a remixed or like a acoustic fashion, one of them and whatnot. And I just think that the OST in general is really good and really cozy and fits the atmosphere. I guess special shout out as well to the Eurocamp OST. I thought that was really good as well. Never before has an OST used a squeak toy quite as well.
Oh yeah, there's so
That
many.
one squeaky sound, like it should be so obnoxious, but it works.
Yeah, the sound engineers are really, the sound engineer that worked on that was really doing a good job at not the sound engineer, the SFX guys. But yeah, Nier. That's OST, please.
You know, it's funny. I was talking with Dark.
Why not me?
Because you don't come into voice chat very often. And I was saying, I don't think there's any show this year that really like blew me away with its soundtrack, right?
Yeah, it's
Um,
like a lot of them didn't have like super noticeable soundtracks or anything. But yeah.
Yeah, and I was saying that, and then I got off to eat or something, right?
Mhm.
And immediately after I did that, the Devilman Crybaby soundtrack came up on my playlist,
Oh.
and I was like,
oh.
oh man, I just ate my fucking words right there.
Uh-huh.
So I'm giving mine to Devilman Crybaby because Devilman Crybaby soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal. It's a lot of very heavy synths, a lot of bass. It's very like club-like music, right?
Or-
Which is fitting because a lot of Devilman's setting is a very club-like scenario where people are doing drugs and they're partying and stuff like that. So very Hotline Miami. Just
yeah.
absolutely amazing soundtrack. It's great.
Toast.
Again, this is another thing I struggled with. You're gonna see me struggle with a lot of stuff this award show.
Okay. And
Yeah.
your best OST went to eventually?
Let me see. I had to fight between one that I really really like because of one thing, and one that I know I know like 100% I'd like because this person does consistently the things I really like, and they've
Okay.
never proven me wrong since freaking what 2007.
So you picked the Sawano soundtrack, I'm guessing?
Which one is that?
No, you picked the Hiroyuki Sawano soundtrack, is what I'm guessing.
Wait,
Right?
which one is that?
What do you mean? What is that?
What series is that? I don't remember Hiroyuki Sawano this season.
He at least worked on one. He at least worked on Attack on Titan. I don't know about the others, but I'm guessing he
Ew,
worked on
no.
it. Okay.
I'm
so-
giving it a 2. Dun, da, da, da. Sword Art Online Alicization.
Fuck off.
You know why?
Fuck off,
It's
dude.
freaking Yuki Kajiura again.
Okay.
So Sal's OST is really good. You know why?
That's
Yuki
the name.
Kajiura. You know what? You know what else Yuki Kajiura did? Should I list off the things?
You
No,
really
it's
do
fine.
not need to
No?
list
That's
off Yuki
fine.
Yeah.
You know
Kajiura's
who Yuki
entire
Kajiura is. Yeah.
repertoire. Like,
Yeah. Even though Calafina
No.
disbanded,
Yeah.
she's still the composer for Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
And there's I don't know what to say. It's all really good.
Okay.
I don't have any problems with it. They brought back a lot of the old soundtracks, like Swordland. When Swordland started playing in the background, woo, that's a spicy meatball there.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what else to say. It's freaking Yuki Kajiura. End of discussion. Doing another
Yeah.
South stuff.
I mean, yeah,
I
Yuki
can't-
Kajiura definitely becoming
that-
solid.
There's nothing else that's even come close.
Yeah.
My runner-up is Fate Last Encore. Fate Extra Last Encore.
Is every award for you from you gonna be a strong tie between like a fight between something from Sword Art Online and something from Fate?
It's almost like they have a lot of parallels in between each other.
I don't think that's
No,
the point,
they
though.
do
They're
not.
exactly the same.
There's
Two
a lot of
characters have swords.
Yeah, and the third
One of them is blonde.
third one goes to Goblin Slayer's
And
Doom
they're both
soundtrack.
shit.
That's,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Alright. Okay.
That's it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the best.
If you can find me a
best-
better Yuki Kajiura this season, please do so.
Well, you
Call me out on it.
didn't do that many this season. right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Doesn't do that much stuff anymore at all, really.
But anyways, moving on to best overall visuals.
Mm.
So I mean, a lot of this is just
Here, this is one we're gonna fight on.
okay. Well, I don't know why we need to fight on anything
These are
necessarily.
individual awards.
Gladiatorial combat.
Established dominance, but a lot of it's just like the same stuff. Like line quality, just not fucking shooting out bloom everywhere, not relying on the shittiest of CGIs. Actually having frames. That would be nice if we could buy more frames. That'd be great. And my award would go to Violet Evergarden. I don't think I really need to explain too much why
What's
that
Violet Evergarden, Fire?
Shut up.
is. Violet Evergarden, Kyoani's baby for at least, like a good like half year or so, right?
Who is
So,
the Evergarden?
What is the
Violet.
Ever of the Gardens?
Is her last name Evergarden? It all makes sense now.
Yeah,
Yes, as a matter of fact.
But anyways, so yeah, I don't know if I really need to explain that much about it. It's Kyoani's baby. If you think it has shitty visuals, just go look at
You're
it.
lying.
Say?
Why are you lying, dude?
Yeah, sorry. Dark. Best overall visuals.
Wow. I really thought long and hard about this, and after thinking about it for a fraction of a second, I decided to also go with Violet Evergarden. Because realistically, like, I'm a fucking liar if I say otherwise. Like, even if, like there are some shows.
Regardless of the
Of course,
series,
that I was
regardless
like-
of the series content.
Well, no, I mean, like, in general, honestly, I'm one to admit when I was wrong. I mean, I think in general I was wrong about that series. Probably too
Mhm.
hard on it.
Mhm. It's better in retrospective, definitely. Or retrospective.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more enjoyable the more I think about it.
Yeah.
What I watched. I haven't finished it just yet, but
I believed.
Fuck you, idiot.
God damn it.
Keep going dark.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think in general that series just quality alone really just stands out.
Yeah.
And it was and regardless of even what I thought at the time, I still thought the show looked really good.
Yeah. I mean, again, regardless of what you think
I
about,
still
the story
stand
in
by. I
general,
think
it's-
that panning shot at the beginning was a little whack. I think the panning shot, the dolly shot was a little weird. Thought it looked kind of fucked up. But it was a cool attempt at least. But overall, the visuals were like consistently good throughout too.
Yeah.
Especially from like WebMs that you sent me, like the oh god, what was the one that you sent me a while ago? The pond one or whatever?
The one where she runs on the water.
Yeah. Like
That scene is absolutely fucking. It's honestly breathtaking.
yeah. So it's like how would I give it to really
Yeah, there are no like there are like no memes online of how it's like there's those like meme like frames like of like some series that kind of cheaped out. Like there's nothing
yeah,
like
it's
that,
like there's
really.
nothing you can really take
Yeah.
from that and do that with. So
Yeah.
and I would say runner up that I was thinking about probably would be I mean, I would say Gridman, just because I thought, especially by the end, that
Okay.
like this was Trigger's like CG showing,
Right.
and I think by the end they did quite a hell of a job with it. There were some shots, especially like directing wise. There were some episodes. There was one episode in particular, a dream episode, episode 9,
Mhm.
that just has really incredible like work done on it. There's some like questionable frames. Some of the animation is like kind of weird. Characters at one point like they're zoomed out, and it's almost on the level of like Dean Fate, but
Ooh.
they're both
Trigger,
in
Trigger
motion.
does that.
Yikes.
Trigger does
Yeah,
that.
so it's like that, but the way they cut between the three characters all running on it. What is it? Like from a right to left shot, almost like a side scroller. And there's like really hard like black shadows, but really bright primary of like their colors. Like one, I think it's like red, yellow, and blue. They just do the
Right.
colors for each character. And it's just a really nice shot, and there's a lot of that, especially as the series goes on.
Mhm.
I'd say that's definitely a runner-up, but it obviously can't hold a candle to the quality
Right.
Violet Evergarden.
Okay. So that's Dark's choice, and Nier, your choice also for best overall visuals. Don't worry about.
Unfortunately, this year had no Hoseki no Kuni. Fortunately. Honestly, if
What's
Hoseki
Hoseki
no
no
Kuni
Kuni?
got a season 2, I would have given it to it. But I was gonna be a hipster and give it to Koiwa Amiyagare. Because that show is really nice looking. That show's use of colors is really, really, really impressive.
Yeah.
But Violet Evergarden is just fucking gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
Like it really just goes to show when animators actually like really care, when they
Yeah.
really put effort into
They put their
making,
backs into it, yeah, for sure.
when they're actually trying to make something visually like beautiful,
Mhm.
like animation can just it's amazing. I think Violet Evergarden is probably one of the most beautiful shows in the past like probably 5 years.
Ooh, that's all right.
It's gorgeous. So yeah, it's getting my award. It's got it, right? It's just
Right.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not like, I mean, like I say this, it's like Kill Ani is like really, really big, but it's like it's not like they're getting constantly backed by like an umbrella company like say Production IG or something is, right? So it's not like they can always keep doing this, but they really put their backs into it.
Yeah,
Like,
and I mean it's not even just like the frames that are good, right? It's the framing, right? It's
right.
it's the visual direction,
Panning,
it's the
right?
shots,
Exactly.
it's all gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
It's so good. It's
Yeah.
great.
Okay. And Toast.
My,
That's the overall visuals, please.
mine's going to go to Violet Evergarden.
Okay. Thank you, God.
Why? What did you
If we
think I was
had
going to
had
say?
like another contest to Alicization or some shit, I would have been like, nope, I'm out of here. I'm leaving this chat right now.
What's wrong with Alicization's visuals? They're super good.
Well, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying if you gave the award for best overall visuals to one of the two series that you kept picking before, I would have not been very happy. But okay, so you gave it to Violet Evergarden?
For the same reasons above. Like,
Yeah.
if I was gonna have my top two, but then you guys were like, "Oh right, that series." Oof.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick something that's not Violet Evergarden, I'm going to give it to Faithless Encore. I really, really, really like how Shaft animated it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
it's now
Shaft definitely put a very interesting spin on
Shaft has been under the Fate umbrella since Extra CCC. They've done the
Okay.
openings for Fate Extra CCCC, so I was
Yeah.
it's a natural for them to go back in and say, "Hey, you want to do this?" They're like, "All right, we know you got that Monogatari stuff. Why not take this on?" They're like, "Okay." But yeah,
Okay. All right. So that
is
was.
Violet regarding this year's Hoseki no Kuni?
We'll see. But that was Toast choice for best overall visuals by Evergarden. I'll move on to best studio. So again, best studio. I don't really have too much of like a specific criterion on this. I kind of just looked at the general list, and I gave it to Mappa this year. So what I based on was there are a lot of studios that did like 5, 6 series, and like one of them was pretty good, like sort of a series that would pop out, an A-list series kind of stuff, and then the other stuff is kind of like it's either it was a pretty terrible series, or it was like a pretty straightforward, like not much to see here series adaptation or whatever it was. And Mappa in 2018 only really did 2 main series, Banana Fish and Zombieland Saga.
Ooh,
But obviously, those two were like, yeah, kind of knocking it out of the park pretty decently, right, with both of them. So I was pretty happy with the choice they made. Some honorable mentions goes to Kyoani, where it was for Kyoani, it was they focused on a lot of movies that just milking their cash cow with free and stuff like that. But they also did again both Violet Evergarden and Sudanen, which both of which, even if you didn't necessarily like the story, you did have to respect how it was produced. Um, and then another honorable mention to Lerche. Lerche doing was it? They did Radiant, which turned out pretty
what
okay.
else did they do this year that was really good?
Hakume Tomikuchi.
Yep.
They did Tomikuchi. They did Asobi Asobase,
There you go.
and they did Shichise no Subaru, or Seven Senses of the Reunion.
Ah, that series. Ooh,
Yeah,
you
which
love
like
that one.
I did not love that one, but which wasn't like the best series, but it was produced pretty decently, and it was, so again, those two get honorable mentions here, but definitely going to Mappa this year.
You
Dark.
could say they put themselves on the map.
Shut up.
Oh, dude.
Dark. Go.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm actually giving mine to Lerche
Oh, okay.
for the reasons Spire listed,
Yeah.
with an honorable mention to Bone.
The Bone
Okay.
Zone.
It's like, normally we don't consider sequels for these things, but the third season of Hero Academia, pretty damn well done.
Don't you
there
mean
was
the
some really
fourth
good
season?
Oh, it was the third, and the fourth isn't out yet, Toast.
But it's basically confirmed.
Yeah, but
yeah,
they didn't make
that
it yet.
did not happen this year though.
Yeah.
What about did Bones do the movie, right? Twin Heroes?
I'm sure they did.
Yes,
There you go.
Bones did the movie. Bones also did an OVA for Kekai Sensen.
Mhm.
And they also did a Mob Psycho OVA. Also did Hisone Tomasatan. So
Oh, they did. Okay.
I will gladly give them that.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna be real honest. If Promised Neverland had come out this year, I would have honestly given it to Cloverworks just for their like very like interesting resume. But anyways, yeah, best studio.
I gave Bones my best studio last year. So I kind of told myself I wouldn't do that again. So because you don't want to get too predictable, right? But I gave mine to David Production.
What do they do?
Yeah, David Production was also something
And
I looked at. Yeah.
it's kind of maybe sort of cheating, but they didn't do something as fucking garbage as Sagrada Reset this year.
But
So they did Haruka
why'd you
Saibo.
show that?
They weren't
Um,
garbage.
Yeah, they did Haruka Saibo, which was very, very good. Very enjoyable series, very cute. Quite well animated as well. and of course, they did JoJo Part 5.
Honestly, I'm gonna like strike Sagrada Reset as like one because they keep like picking weird series and like a decent amount. Like if you look at the earlier stuff, like Takashi Show is pretty decent. Bento was pretty decent. Inugoku wasn't bad for like a shoujo series.
Yeah,
Like it's like let's call it Sagrada Reset a mulligan. Like give a mulligan to that one. But yeah, definitely.
I think they did good this year.
Yeah.
They've done a very, very good job with JoJo.
Mhm.
They really knocked it out of the park with the dance scene. You know, they blew everybody's expectations out of the water.
What's the song called? Is it
Um,
Passione Control or is it just Torture Dance song?
I don't think it has an official name yet because the soundtrack isn't released.
Alright.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, those are my awards.
Good stuff. And Toast. Best studio, please.
What's the studio that did Alicization?
Isn't it
JC Staff?
A1?
Isn't it
A1?
A1?
Alright, I'll give it to A1.
Oh my God, Toast, shut up.
I, for reasons I've said earlier, I really like it.
Toast, they ruined. They held Trigger
The
back.
Franks. Yeah, they literally like split off their studio, like parts of their studio to stab and taunt Trigger. Like sending Cloverworks like a submarine.
But yet, I can't give it to Shaft. So it's like,
Oh, good thing. You guys,
for reasons, don't worry about it.
yeah, okay.
But yeah,
that's the next.
Alicization, you're cool.
Alicization was pretty decent for those, yeah. Moving on then to worst studio. I gave mine.
Can I go first?
to-
Let me go first. Let me continue my train.
Yeah.
My worst studio, Shaft.
Okay. Why?
Okay. Who do
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
makes
to
sense.
blame for what is? I mean, everything looks good, but who do I have to blame for the travesty that is Fate Last Encore? Do I have to
God.
blame? I don't know if I can blame Kanoku Nasu. Cause it's Kanoku Nasu, and he never does wrong. He's
That's not true.
he's
That
he's the Kojima of video anime.
I don't think
Anime.
that's helping. But okay.
There's just so many problems I have with Fate Extra Last Encore.
Okay.
That's just, I don't know where to begin. There's pacing issues. Like animation quality, fine. It's good. I don't have any qualms with the animation quality of Last Encore.
Okay.
But everything else, the story, the characters, who do I blame? I don't know who to blame other than Shaft.
Script writers, I'll guess. But,
Yeah, and who hired the script writers?
geez.
Ah, jeez.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
I really like Fate Last Encore, but at the same time, I really, really don't like it.
I don't know why you like any of it.
yeah.
You want me to? I have bullet
No,
points.
No, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So again, thank you, Toast, for our worst studio Shaft, which is very interesting because my worst studio is also Shaft for very different reasons.
What
So-
do you have different reasons why Fate Last Encore sucked? Please tell me. I can
Expand
add.
his world.
I can add them to the list.
So, how do I say this? So many, not many, but like 4 to 6 years ago,
Oh, it's
I was-
story time.
I was complaining, a lot about stuff like Kaku City Actors, stuff coming out, Nisekoi coming out, where I was just like, why is Shaft making all these whack ass choices? Why can't they just release, stable, good adaptation, stuff like that? Never did I think that within, these 4 or 5 years, I would come to the point where I was like, okay, well, I miss the Shaft that did stuff like the Kaku City Actors and reached out and, did more like original stuff, like maybe 7 years back, maybe they reached out and did a little original that was called Puella Madoka Magica, or they did more strange adaptations like Tenpa Onna to Seishin Otoko. Nowadays,
That's what it say.
yeah, that's exactly. So now they're just fully relying on their mangaka money in terms of like movie making stuff like that. They're doing,
Aren't they relying on their Monogatari money? How
yeah,
many?
that's for stuff like for some of the other movies, but also for their
Stuff
main
for
sort of
now.
anime core. Yeah, for main anime core. For movies, they're relying on Monogatari a little bit by little bit, but also mangaka stuff. So squeezing those two. Anime is mainly Monogatari and a little bit of what was remaining of Sangatsu no Lion, and then they pretty much subsist on that plus Fate Extra. So my question is just yeah, exactly.
Who do I blame for this?
Do
Is it Nisio Isin's fault? Is it Gen? Is it Gen Uribuchi?
Yeah. So Kenten and Chad was just like Shaft knows that he can just make shows that have a minimum of one health per episode, and it's
He's not wrong. I've counted how many Nero healths are in one episode.
no. I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying again, it's like a sample of the times where it's like they're so desperate to kind of just rake in these cash cow sales.
They're trying to do what UFL Table's doing, but it's not. They're not very good at it.
Somewhat, yeah.
They can't pull out one
yeah.
Fate and be like, "Bam, here's money."
I mean, they've done it so far, but how long can they last? How long can people like year after year after year? Like Monogatari is still going on, but even Monogatari is going to end sometime pretty soon in the next couple of years.
I mean, they're only doing the side stories now. That's all they have left.
Exactly.
They just need to do more Fate series. Take them all from Sentai Filmworks and JC staff. There you go. You're good.
It's
A1.
it's so kind of depressing to see what Shaft has become, and I do really hope that they'll let anybody just enter and just create some sort of original, just aim for a new cash cow. I know that they helped try to create that project last year where they had like different like small indie small size teams of like new writers and like new directors, right? Like where they had that small project. That was interesting, but I really hope that they find some good talent and they create some good original series, or they find some solid, unique adaptations.
They just need to do what Kyoto Animation do. They gotta sit on one series for several years and produce one really good show. Oh wait, that's what Monogatari is.
Oh god. But yeah, very unfortunate. Dark or series. I mean, Worst Studio. Excuse me, Worst Studio. I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
I think you're gonna be pretty shocked when you hear this one. Guess what? It's JC staff. And you might be thinking, what? Why?
But they do the indexes, my friend.
Well, I don't think Index Season 3 is visually that striking. I mean, I like the way it looks. It's nice. It's got some nostalgia to it, but also it's not 2008 anymore.
Yeah,
so that CG is abysmal, and please fix it. Planet With looked terrible. High Score Girl makes my eyes bleed.
What are you talking
JC Stat. The issue is like they did a lot of series this year, as they do like every year alongside.
Yeah, I mean they even did Angels of Death, and it's like
but it's clear that they all kind of threw their money into the staple series, the thing that they brought them money, like Psychicosa, probably season 2, obviously Index, and maybe a little bit of like stuff like Million Arthur. I haven't seen that, but I'm guessing
I have
more money.
It's all right.
Yeah,
I feel like Satsuriko no Tenshi was their best looking show this year.
Probably.
Yeah, that wasn't just like a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Amanchu 2 was definitely the best looking thing they put out this year, but Angels of Death was definitely the best original.
Yeah, but very unfortunate.
Like they did Backstreet. That show looks fucking hideous.
It's on Netflix. Yeah, is it because it's on Netflix?
That one looks bad. Yeah. Geez. But yeah, very very unfortunate. Nier, what was your worst studio?
Haha. I'm not giving it to Shaft, but I did want to expand a little bit on some of the Shaft. Jump a little on the bandwagon for a bit.
What else about Fate Extra did you not like, Nier?
Fucking literally everything about the show. But That's not what I'm going to talk about. I am very disappointed in Shaft this year.
Mm.
I think not only did they do an absolutely abysmal job on Fate Extra, but personally, I don't know how much of that is really their fault because you know Nasu
Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Nasu himself literally admitted that he rewrote the entire fucking series before they had like even would
That they
agree
want
to
set
adapt
up.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't really think that the working relationship with the studio was the best in the first place.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure how much I can really blame them for that. But what I will blame them for is the fact that 2 years ago, I was singing Shaft's praises to the fucking heavens
Oh yeah, I mean,
because
wait, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, 2016,
What came out in 2016?
because
Sangatsu no Line.
Sangatsu
Sangatsu
no
no Line
Line
was the
came out,
major. Yeah, exactly.
and I was extremely impressed, and I was very, very hopeful for the future of Shaft because they were bringing in new directorial blood.
They had that
Um,
project. Yeah, they had that project where they were literally like, okay, we're gonna have 5 teams of like small directors and writers.
Yeah, Sangatsu had a new guy co-directing with
Shingo,
the man himself.
yeah. The man, the
Um,
myth, the legend.
yeah, and it gave me a lot of hope for the future
Uh-huh.
of Shaft because Sangatsu no Line was very, very good,
Mhm.
and season 2 was also very, very good.
Mhm.
But 2018 rolls around, and what do? A fucking awful Fate adaptation and more Monogatari, and that's it.
Yo, they're too busy just making, especially since Hidamari has like died out more or less. They're too busy trying to like milk like Monogatari as hard as possible.
I mean, like
So-
they're not really busy doing anything because like literally all they've released is Fate Extra and one Monogatari movie for the entire year.
yeah, yeah.
But I
It's
like
like-
Fate Extra.
Like what's happening over there? Like there can't be that many people working on Fate Extra. But
I think honestly, I think they're investing more man hours and just labor and like production efforts than might actually be warranted. I'm not sure how to phrase this, but might might actually be wise in terms of pumping out the Monogatari movies. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's
But back to the awards. My worst studio, for me, has got to be White Fox. Absolutely abysmal performance this year. Just a complete joke.
yeah.
Like barring like Goblin Slayer, it's a visual mess. The show looks absolutely atrocious.
Ooh, you're talking about that. Right?
Goblin Slayer himself looks like a fucking PS2 model.
Yeah.
He's animated terribly.
Yeah, it keeps
doesn't
reminding me of that person.
He doesn't even fit into his environment,
yeah.
which is also largely CG.
Yeah.
And then earlier in the year, they did Steins Gate Zero.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like the weird thing is like White Fox got like pretty easy pitches, like pretty softball pitches, right? Like you can't. It's hard to kind of mess up Steins Gate Zero, and it's hard to mess up Goblin Slayer, right? But
Yeah, but they did it.
they did it.
Steins Gate Zero was visually just boring.
Yeah.
Absolutely the just blandest of adaptations. The original Steins Gate, people love that show. People absolutely adore Steins Gate. And the directing in the original Steins Gate is fantastic, right? The shots are framed in a way that, tense shots are just framed in this way that makes everything like seem slightly skewed, and it's got like an eerie tone to it just by the way it's framed. But Steins Gate Zero is just so boring. It's a terrible, terrible adaptation.
Yeah.
And
Very
it's just like
unfortunate.
what are they doing over there? I don't even know. It's just complete mess.
Just a mess. Yeah.
How
Sure.
dare you use that picture to for my studio?
Anyways,
Why not? You know that's from, right?
but
That's from the fucking game, the crossover.
Was it not animated by JC Staff?
No, I don't think so.
Oh well,
Pretty sure that's why the characters look like they're manga versions, not the JC staff ones.
too bad. I like this picture.
Anyways, yeah. We should move on to our, more sort of like sort of general awards here. So this is most overrated series, and I know this is going to be a fun one. I think people look forward to this one. Maybe top 2, top 3 out of this list every year for obvious reasons. So most overrated series. Obviously, there has to be a big gap between the actual quality of the series, and what people play it up as. And this one was a very hard choice for me. There are so many series that were just not very great, but people just hyped it up anyways. I actually ended up having be a tie between Darling in the Franxx and Pop Team Epic. And
Wow.
Pick one. Pick one for a picture.
I'd say Pop Team Epic, and I'll explain because it's like, no. So Darling in the Franxx, I don't think I need to explain too much. It's just a trigger show, Gurren Lagann throwback nostalgia.
A1.
Circle jerk. Yeah, sorry, A1 Gurren Lagann nostalgia circle jerk gone wrong, and it was the best of times, the worst of times, right? With terrible sort of not like mediocre character interactions that only became worse when the plot points started to just go all over the place, and then like a third faction appeared, and then suddenly like random time skips and all this random garbage stuff going on, right? So that was pretty bad, and stuff like having flashbacks doing whatever didn't help, etc., etc., etc. Not very realistic characters, as I said, didn't help with the terrible interactions. Overall, pretty terrible series. And obviously, people were like, "Darling in the Franxx is so meaningful." It made me just like it's so good. It's so deep. I can't even grasp it philosophically. No. Okay, so Prince of the Universe brings up an interesting point. So was Darling in the Franxx overrated? I feel like the anime community at large came to the conclusion that it was a dumpster fire. So the way I saw it was that obviously some rational heads in the community was like, yeah, this is just not going everywhere.
That's not overrated. That just means it's bad.
I think the views were mainly split, where it was like most of the people that committed to going through the entire thing was just like, or going through a decent amount of the entire thing was just like, yeah, this is so philosophical, deep, and complex, blah blah blah, and it's like, oh my god, please just stop. And that also sort of drove this like general community sentiment among the people that hadn't seen Darling in the Franxx and kind of knew it just as like a general like, oh, it's a trigger show, so it has to be like okay, right, kind of thing. That sort of like mindset.
Who was
so
the dude that said that Darling in the Franxx was a homage to Machiavellianism or something?
Probably a few people. Who fucking cares, man?
Oh, Mage in a Barrel, maybe? I don't know, dude. But yeah. But Pop Team Epic, I think, if I had to choose between the two, would get worse because, well, Darling in the Franxx was a stumble. Like, I'm, like, trigger people were like idiots that tried to reach farther, but had like okay intentions, right? Like they were nostalgia, like drunk, but they had good intentions, but then they tripped. Pop Team Epic was just like, we have these memes and we're just gonna meme. It's gonna be funny, guys. And then they just played it, and it's like, like I don't
Memes.
even. Yeah,
I
know.
love
Skyrim.
I love memes.
It's like Robot Chicken on steroids, but without any humor, and it was so like, it was so bad. And then like, I don't know, the shtick where they had the first half of the show in like the girls' voices, and then they had the second half with male voices. It's like okay for like 1 or 2 episodes maybe, and then I was like, we need to stop this. Like this needs to stop. This is not acceptable. And just like the humor stuff, it was entirely based. All of the humor was essentially based around the fact that everything was just happening at such a quick pace. Like again, like when you're playing a game of WarioWare, right? It's like the point is not that you're playing these shitty mini games. The point is that these shitty mini games are happening at the speed of sound. That's the whole point of like the value of the game, right? So I felt like that was sort of what Pop Team Epic was trying to sell, and it was just like, no, I don't appreciate that. That's definitely overrated series. For obvious reasons not noted as to why it was overrated. Some honorable mentions going to Magical Girls site, Maho Shoujo site, Sword Art Online Alicization, Seishin Butayoro. So those three got some honorable mentions there. Dark. Dark is dead.
Oh wait, what?
What's your favorite? What's your
Most
Overrated series, Darling in the Franxx. Yeah, I couldn't really think of much else, honestly, to put in this category. It's just pretty much the same reason Spire said. Like, it wins out over pretty much everything else. I guess like as of right now, it's kind of not as overrated, but you know, because not many people talk about it. But still, I mean, I don't know. I just there were like what 2, 3 episodes I enjoyed in that entire show at this point. You know, and the thing that people liked about it wasn't even like the actual good parts of the show, like the well-directed episodes or just like anything that was actually good and redeemable in the show that wasn't what people were talking about. When people were talking about it, they were like, yeah, but like the relationship, oh my God, it's so like, I'm like, no, it's not. It's terrible. It's not good. It was never good. For sake. And now no one talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But then everyone started blaming A1. It's like,
Oh yeah, that was
as many times as we can get into this, like,
we can't get into it enough.
it follows all I'm
Trigger
gonna say.
A holy prophet.
It literally follows everything Trigger has ever done. It follows the
Yeah.
same arcs as Darling in the Franxx. It follows the same arcs as even Little Witch Academia, even the TV series, even Kill la Kill, even Kisniver to some extent, even most recently Gridman to some extent. Like the story beats are all there. The problem is that everything else in Darling Franks was horrible.
Yeah.
Like
Again,
the
we talked
story
about,
itself was the problem.
yeah, we talked
The
about
story
that one point where it
beats
was like
didn't help.
we talked about that one point where it was like if that flashback was essentially like at the beginning and it was a major part of the story, like that would be that would have
Yeah,
been
even if
better
that flashback where that shows Zero, 2, and Hero
Yeah.
was at almost the beginning, if not the second or third episode, and they resolved that shit really quick, it would be fine. But
Yeah,
instead, we got strung along with, like the love triangle or whatever for like fucking 7 episodes, and then they like never resolved it the entire show.
yeah.
And then like half of the cast is like, well, I guess we're just fucking cucks now, huh? It's
Yeah, exactly.
like wow, great resolution, guys.
Suddenly brainwashing.
You can't like they resolve it with like half of the cast, but the cast that like is essentially getting taken out of a relationship doesn't get resolved.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they get nothing. It's like you can't really do that.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. Nier. Most overrated series, please.
Oh, there's a
Many
lot.
series. Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a lot of shit this year, dude.
Exactly. That's why
There's
I
a
keep saying this
lot of
award. It's
really
like,
stupid shit that people really like this year.
why do you think I keep emphasizing this this award here?
Like, you know, was it last year? I think it was last year where we were all. I think it's been the last couple of years where we were all pretty much in unison. We were like, yeah, it's pretty much it's this one series. Like, but this year it's like there's so much dumb shit that people were just like, oh my
Yeah.
god, this is epic. I gotta pick Goblin Slayer though.
Okay.
Ooh, you're
Like,
gonna fight some people on that.
I don't give a shit, dude. Goblin Slayer is fucking like, it's
That's
so
definitely a choice, yeah.
it's so boring. It's so safe. It's so like generic.
How is it safe?
And
Have you
then-
seen the first episode?
Oh my god, there's rape. Ah! Who cares?
She got gobbed.
Nobody
that's-
cares. That character is irrelevant. Nobody cared about that character. So who gives a shit?
So what I said about the way I explained how I sort of reacted to like goblins, or like the thick of the plot, not the rape scene, but what happens afterwards is this is how I explained it. I was like, it's like opening a cardboard box, and then there's like more cardboard inside, and then other people are like, "Wow, I'm a big cardboard fan," and you're like,
What?
I'm okay with that. Like, I guess that's sort of fetish exists, but I'm personally not a great like cardboard fan. You know what I mean? It's like that's sort of the analogy I made. It's
I mean,
like,
to me, it would be like you open up a box, and there's like bubble wrap in there,
Yeah,
but it's
but
like
there's no effect.
instead of the big bubble wrap that they use these days, it's the small ones, right? That you can pop.
There's another box that also has bubble wrap inside it. Inside
Right.
the bubble wrap.
And then the person's like, "Oh yeah, bubble wrap! I could pop this." And then you take out the bubble wrap, and there's nothing in the box.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing else.
Yeah.
Goblin Slayer fucking sucks, dude. I think it's an okay action series, but like outside of that, it sucks dick. It's not very good.
The thing is, I respect the people who are like, watching it just to get their sort of like D&D fix, right? But I don't respect the people who are like, but these, like amazing sort of like developments that happen or whatever it is,
I'm gonna be brutally honest. I don't really respect anybody actually watching this show because this show is fucking hideous. It's just genuinely bad. Like, why would you watch this show? Just read the manga. Read the light novel.
Near, that's something.
And it's infinitely better.
Near-
This show looks like dog shit.
Yeah.
That's a common mistake for beginners, Near.
Yeah.
Just read the manga. Hashtag just read the manga.
Remember that sweet page in the manga where Goblin Slayer is like all silhouetted and his eyes glowing? And he's, like,
Oh,
super
that-
menacing.
That is a
And it's
good.
like it's an
That's
iconic page that everybody loves that page.
Like I saw
Everybody-
it, I was
Like people will be like, "Yo, is this Goblin Slayer thing any good?" They'll link that page, just that page. And in the anime,
it's so bad.
it's literally just Goblin Slayer, horribly drawn, not silhouetted at all, holding a torch, being like, "You?
Oh,
What?"
to clarify, Near's not talking about the first episode, like glowing eye. That's the good one. He's talking about the one after fighting the ogre.
Yeah, it was like episode 5, 6, something like that.
Yeah,
That one looks like somebody stuck a bicycle light onto his like.
that's a
abs-
bad one.
Absolutely pathetic. Just like a complete slap in the
No,
face
it's not
to
great,
anybody who was like really anticipating that moment, right?
Yeah.
Just awful show, and
Yeah.
yet it's like the top of the Crunchyroll ratings. Everybody's talking this show up like it's the next Berserk. It baffles the mind.
In some sense, it is, dear. It
is,
the next
dear.
Berserk in terms of the modern one, right?
Yeah, I
It is until Ari Furuta comes out.
It's almost just as bad as modern Berserk, you know?
There you go. For those who are watching, this is the good, super good manga image.
I hope Arthurta comes out in glorious rotoscope CG too, Toast. But anyways, Toast, what was your most?
Hold on,
overrated
let me bring up the comparison image. Just real quick.
Yeah, just show them how fucking ugly it is in the anime. Because honestly, I saw it and I cried laughing. It was so bad.
It was actually just like a bicycle light, like one of those things.
Let's compare real quick. Overrated? What was mine? There you go. It's up.
Oh yeah, it's a bicycle light.
Oh, it's so bad, dude.
Toast, what was your most overrated? the way the comments are
He
holding
looks like
hands
he's shrugging. Like,
yeah, the way that he's holding his hands, it's like, huh? It's like you know that thing where it's like you know those that pose where it's like in some like slapstick like lewd like anime stuff where they have like the fingers pointed at like the nipples or whatever, right? Like the
He's
it's like that pose.
tiptoeing at,
Yeah.
tiptoeing over that.
Yeah. Anyways, toast. Overrated series, please.
Mine. What? I can't remember the English title anymore. But
That's fine.
it's Bunny Girl Senpai. Yeah.
It's called Station Butayoro or
No, what's it in English?
Rascal does not dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, wait until the movie Rascal Does Not Dream of Dreaming Girl.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding, that's the title.
No, I saw.
Wait, what's the title?
Rascal Does Not Dream Girl.
Yeah, I saw that. That's not.
Yeah,
But definitely, that's
yeah,
a choice for me.
it's not it. It's not. I've made the joke about hey it's like it's the new Monogatari this season, the new rom-com snafu origairu, yeah, that's it.
Orairu, yes, Orairu. Obviously, this author was trying to go from a feel, but the protagonist a little bit.
Is power cutting out? Is that just me?
He's getting gobbed.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah,
Double checking.
it's people are saying it's so relatable and whatever. He's a new Hachiman. He's got instead of the negative outlook on life like Hachiman does, he's got a positive one. He's saying things that I would say in real life. No, you won't.
Yeah.
Do you
No, you don't.
Do you think the people that say the main character in Bunny Girl Senpai is relatable? Do you think they've ever like actually talked
Talk to
to
human
a
beings.
a female?
Probably not.
A human being? No.
Yeah, that's it. The thing is, it's like the the main character in Bunny Girl is a little bit more stable in some sense than Hachiman was in Origairu in terms of providing solutions or providing actual like things instead of being like, by the way, I have a solution for how this social problem will work out. Like he doesn't just spaz out and just spit out a problem like that, like how Hachiman did. But in terms of again, it's not like Origairu is good either. So it's like I'm just kind of approaching it from that perspective.
What?
So literally the best. But I just like the whole
The writing is not all that it's cracked up to be. It's not all
It also-
inspiring. It's
yeah, it
pretty
also
normal.
doesn't help. It also doesn't help the fact that all the supernatural powers, like they tried to play off the supernatural powers as something like super deep and thematic, like oh, it's happening because people can't read the atmosphere or whatever. It's like you don't need to explain these supernatural powers like this, right? Like just don't try. Like you don't need to be like the reason why she's disappearing is because she can't read the atmosphere, and if you don't read the atmosphere, the environment tries to force its will on you, and so you become part of the thin air, and you become part of the atmosphere. It's like just stop, You don't need to explain the powers like this, okay?
The vines were taken.
Yeah, exactly. So stupid, but very unfortunate series to put it mildly. But yeah,
I want to watch it. I
Stop.
want to watch it, but I don't want
Schrodinger's
to at the
cat?
same time. No,
Yeah,
I mean
sure.
it's like it's got to be at least okay, right? Like,
Oh Jesus.
but now I can't. Now it's ruined.
Yeah, now it's all ruined. The Schrodinger's cat, the Schrodinger's anime.
Yeah, because I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna be. These fucking people actually think that this is like incredible. Really?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. But yeah, thank you, Toast, for your choice. Seishun Butayoro. And now we're moving on to the most underrated series. And this is obviously the inverse, like how much people talk it up versus how okay it is. And I gave it to Koi wa ame agari no yoni, or in English, after the rain, transliterated as love is like when the rain lifts, essentially. And at first, obviously, just by the premise of like, what is it like the 40-ish-year-old man, like, going out with the high school girl. It's like, damn, that's some
They're
Usagi drop
going
shit.
out.
That's
They're not going out. She's just
They are.
admiring. Oh, nice.
or it's implied at the end. They're going out, but
Wow, spoiler.
they go at it. But it's some Usagi drop vibes, right? So people are like, I'm not like, even if
That's not Usagi drop. That's
I'm not saying it was. I'm saying that what people like took it as was, it's like, oh, it's like a Usagi like drop like thing. Even if I like Usagi drop, like the premise is a little bit cringe, like whatever. Kind of, I think a decent amount of people kind of wrote it off. But then, like when you actually go through the series, it is very gentle, stable slice of life, and they have the love, and the way they kind of run through the different like the obstacles of having to like one another is relatively standard. It's not like the types of obstacles like the older dude faces and the older dude, the way it resolved, and the younger girl is like, oh, I want to try chasing my dreams, blah blah blah, all that stuff. It comes and goes in a pretty standard manner, but I do like the sort of the rest of the character interactions and what happens with the characters in between. I think that's really important in these sorts of series where it's like the issue is it's like with series like this where it's like unconventional love, and then for some reason when these series are being written, oftentimes what the writer does is like they make the other characters kind of like just like push in the main character's shit. Like they'll have like a side character that's like, oh, I'm selling love rival now, or like a random like character that comes in from like overseas and it's like, oh, I'm an asshole and I'll just break up your love because I feel like it. Or like they have some like stupid shit going on, right? And in this series, there's no need for that, and it's very natural. It's flowing, and the people are like, oh, you're involved with this stuff, like and then they suggest X, Y, Z. They're not like, oh my god, I'm gonna ruin your relationship. It's not really like that. So I do feel like it's a very sort of like stabilizing, natural way to view things, and that really helps this sort of premise of the two sharing a common love, getting along, and resolving their stuff. So definitely underrated for me. Honorable mentions to Asobi Asabase. I do think it is very, very good. Much in like how Kitakubu or the Chronicles of the Going Home Club from a couple years ago appealed to me in similar ways, as well as Hinamatsuri. I do think those two are a little bit more underrated. Dark.
My most underrated series is Hakame Sumakochi.
Ah, yes.
Wow, you
Anything
can't just do that 2 times in this year, dude.
So
Whatever,
unoriginal.
Whatever, dude. Oh yeah, this actually the most underrated series. As a side note, I think it was like yesterday, or the day before. Like I was basically having a stroke because I was freaking out. Like, and I had no idea when anything came out anymore because of podcast episode 100 when we had an underrated series listing, and I thought that was from last year. So yeah, I'd plan on giving it to this from the beginning. So, not many people talked about it. Not many people do talk about it, and I think it's a really, really, really good slice of life series. Really good, like episodic series with some world building, nice music.
Right.
It's really strung together well, especially with its art style.
Yeah. Okay. Nier.
You know, I was conflicted between 2 series. And I actually ended up swapping their places like 3 or 4 times. But I went with Shoujo Kageki Review Starlight.
Yes.
Which is
I thought you might actually bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to. I mean, I had to give it something. This was the show, that was like the the all girls like art school, performance arts school, and they're doing stage plays and stuff like that. And then, it turns into like this weird musical battle royale like tournament arc thing. And then it has this weird like time shenanigans plot twist, and it's a really crazy series, and it's honestly really good.
Mhm.
Not something I usually watch, but I watched it on a whim,
It's very unique.
and
It's
I was
very
I was really sucked into it. It's extremely unique. I've not many anime come out where they're like half musicals, right? So, very cool show. The characters, while they're not the deepest characters in the world, they're all quite likable. They all have their own motivations, their own backstories, and the way this show kind of like tells its story through its song, um, it really impressed me.
Mhm.
But like nobody talks about this show. I've never
yeah.
seen.
Honestly,
I've
after
never
you
seen
talked
like
about Starlight, I did like I actually really do want to check it out. 'Cause it's like,
yeah. I've never seen like a single thread on this show. I
what came
really
out? What came out at the same time as Review Starlight? Wait, it's
uh
this season, right?
well, it was during summer, so
Summer.
um I guess the popular stuff was like Banana Fish, Haruka Saibo, Overlord, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, it's understandable that it got drowned out, but like, I was amazed that like absolutely nobody was talking about this
Yo,
show.
Overlord 3, dude. You don't
Yeah.
have time. It's
Of
over.
course. Gotta get mad that Skeleton Man killed the girl.
Gotta get
Oh.
to that episode or season 3, episode 9 or 10.
Yeah.
I keep
Yeah.
forgetting.
But yeah, this show was really good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I recommended that pretty much everybody watch it
Yeah.
when I first covered it. But
Awesome.
yeah,
Let's go.
definitely
Right now.
watch this show. It's very good.
Definitely a good choice. Toast.
Mine is gonna go to. Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mine is gonna go to Hakame Tamikochi.
Good
No, no,
stuff.
no, no, no. Whoops.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's taking. Yeah.
Whoops. Mine's gonna go to. No, that's not the million art. Nah.
You alright?
No.
Say a million Arthur.
Mine's gonna go to Beelzebub Joe. No. See anything, cause
Mhm.
I've talked about this series once before. I read the manga.
Mhm.
And you know how I always watch at least one sports anime each season?
Mhm.
This was the one that I was waiting for a long time now.
Wait, a sports series?
It's published in Shonen Jump. It's really good.
Wait. did you say sports series?
Yeah. This is the one. I haven't read a. This is probably one of the first sumo manga I've ever read. This one's really good. I like it. But no one's talking about Hinamaru Zumo. It's a.
Didn't you say Beelzebub?
Yeah, I thought you said Beelzebub.
Oh, no.
I'm
No.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you did.
Yeah, sure you did.
Why do I have a picture of Hinamaru up? You guys are
I think he
imagining
spazzed
things.
out. I think he spazzed out for a minute. Because you said
okay,
Beelzebub. That's all.
No, I'm good.
You mean Hinamaru Sumo? Okay, so
Yeah,
so Hinamaru.
it's really good. I don't even like sumo that much, but you got some red hot blood action sumo in this.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
Hinamaru Sumo was pretty decent. Again, yeah.
It-
Again, from your descriptions, I was like,
It's
okay, well,
it's a slow start like most other sports series, but once you get into the action, it's really good
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
It's like watching a fighting game. You know, if E Honda was an anime,
it would be this.
sure, it's like
Yeah.
it's like the Street Fighter anime, but only everyone's E Honda and Seth,
Yeah.
I guess. Urian, who's the red and blue guy?
Hakan?
No,
Yeah, the
Isn't it-
oil
is it-
wrestler.
no, the red and blue guy. He's half red, half blue. He's Urian's brother, I think.
Oh,
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but I forget his name.
yeah, I forget his name.
But yeah,
Starts with an A?
Keep going.
but yeah, I think Hakan is actually.
Isn't it Abel?
No,
No, it's not
Abel's
Abel.
the
It's Gil.
Gil.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, but actually Hakan is a better reference because he's red and oily and it's like
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good. I like it,
Yeah.
but no one's talking about it. It's like
no,
it's
definitely awesome.
it's like how no one talked about Keijo when it came out last.
Well, that's a different reason. I think
year?
some people did talk about Kate,
2016,
but
17. Yeah, it's a shame. Y'all should watch Kate or Hinamaru.
yeah. Okay. No, definitely a solid choice. With that, we'll move on to best pleasant surprise. So this is something that you yourself thought, like, oh, whatever, and then you watched it and you're like, oh, damn, this is pretty nice. And that for me goes to Zombieland Saga, for reasons that Dark and I has talked about when it initially came out. We're just like, kind of like this gotta be another freaking like survival game thing from just like the premise, right? And then we watched it, and I was like, oh, this is like some this is like some weird idol stuff, but it was turned out to be pretty good for like a random idol series. So
Would it be better if they weren't?
weren't what?
If they weren't the saga, or
The zombies?
they weren't the land.
You all right?
I get. I'm not entirely sure, but maybe we would have to see that.
If you there's the zombies, right? And who's the land? Because their saga is is episodes 1 through 12.
Yeah, I think the saga is also referring to the specific prefecture they're protecting, but that's another story. But honorable mentions again for best pleasant surprise to Hinamatsuri and Sorayori Motoi Basho. And these series, I didn't necessarily think they were going to be bad. I think they were going to be okay. But I didn't expect them to go as deep or be as good as they were. So definitely all good series, all pleasant surprises. Dark.
I'm giving my pleasant surprise to Jashin Chan Dropkick.
What's the English title?
Is it a dropkick on my devil or
Yeah,
something?
there you go.
It doesn't make any sense because the devil isn't the one being dropkicked ever. The devil is the one performing the dropkick. It was a surprisingly competent slice of life series with some pretty good moments with good audio visuals.
And now
the style seems kind of whack at first, but once you get into it, it's actually really good.
Yeah. And there's also now a YouTube channel where they run like virtual YouTuber stuff for Shin-chan. That's interesting. But yeah.
Yeah, it was very surprising.
Yeah, that's definitely a pleasant surprise. Nier.
Honorable mention first.
Yeah.
Honorable mention goes to Gridman for, after Darling and the Franks, who the hell knew? Who knew that Trigger could not throw it all away?
Who knew
not be
that?
completely shitty all the time. They have their cycles. It's very specific. It's very eccentric cycles, but they have
very specific in which they just make 2 good shows and 2 not good shows.
Yeah. Nier. Pleasant surprise.
Man, fuck Trigger. Mine's gotta be this is pleasant surprise, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Mine's going to Koi wa Amiagari no Yoni.
Yes.
Tying back to what Spire said when he was talking about it, where people were probably like, "Oh, this age gap thing is probably gonna be fucking weird."
Yeah.
I was one of those people. I was not too sure what the show was gonna be.
Yeah.
When I first started it, but little did I know it would be one of the honestly one of the sweetest things I watched all year. Not to mention one of the most visually striking and well-directed series I've watched all year. This show is fucking good. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very good romance series, and
Just don't read this plot synopsis. Just
Yeah.
don't read the plot synopsis.
just don't let, or if you do, don't let it cloud your judgment. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't watch romance series too often, but this one's good. It's a good show.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Toast. Plus a
Hello.
surprise, please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? All right. See, the thing with those puzzle surprises, I'm usually at least 95% right on what I like and what I don't. So there's not much that can surprise me.
Okay.
Sure, dude.
Keep going.
You guys didn't think Slime Tensei would be good? I did. You guys didn't think Goblin Slayer would be good? I did.
Yeah, but you thought Fate Extra was gonna be good. So.
It is good, but it's also bad. So I'm half right on that.
Which one is it? Which one is it? Toast. Jesus. Anyways, so nothing for pleasant surprise then?
You guys thought that oh yeah, my most pleasant surprise is I have to rule out Slime Tensei because I knew that'd be good. All this stuff, so I have to. It falls down to Gakko no Juliet.
Kishikagako no Juliet.
Juliet. Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, they definitely run the cast pretty solidly in that series.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was
I picked it because I was like, I picked it because Spire got really mad, said you can't cover Alicization. I'm like, but I want to. And then I'm like, no. And I'm like, fine.
Were you surprised with Alicization? It was a straight out of a meteor.
It's not. I'm not surprised about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just needed something to talk about for the last podcast because you wouldn't let me do Alicization. So I was like, wait a minute, this is actually kind of good, and it was pretty good.
Okay.
I like the homage it is, how much the homage that there is to the 1996 8 9 Romeo and Juliet remake starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
We went over this. All right, so let's stop this. Okay, thank you for best pleasant surprise, and now we're going on to big disappointment. So this is the opposite of pleasant surprise here, and I want to give it to
Spire. What's your most underrated or biggest surprise? Whatever.
I already said it. It was Zombieland Saga.
What the heck's wrong here?
How do I say this? I want to give it to, as sort of, harsh as it might seem, I want to give it to Violet Evergarden. And again, my gauge for how pleasant surprise or overrated or underrated or disappointing or whatever is the difference between what I was expecting and what I got, right? And I'm gonna be honest, Violet Evergarden, I was expecting a lot. I was expecting, admittedly, a lot from KyoAni, but nothing that KyoAni hadn't necessarily provided in the past. But I was just I just needed a return to form. I just needed a KyoAni that would shy away from free movies all day, that would shy away from making Tamako Market movies all day, that would shy away from making stupid fucking Hibike Euphonium recap movies all day, that would shy away from making Chunibyo recap movies all day. I was just so tired of this, and I just wanted something that was good, something that I could, be like, hold up to the sky and be like, this is KyoAni. Like everything's just running on full gear. Just the story, the audio visuals, just everything. And Violet Evergarden also was their baby. It was I believe it won honorable mention. It didn't win an award, right? Or something like that.
I think Violet Evergarden is the only one to win an award, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like KyoAni with her infamously asshole KyoAni awards, right? Violet Evergarden was the only light novel to ever win an award in there. Everybody else won honorable mentions only. They didn't even give out first places. That's how much of an assholes they were. So, I was expecting the heaven, the heaven and earth from them, but they unfortunately did not deliver as much. So it had to end up being my biggest disappointment.
I thought it was pretty good.
I think it wasn't bad, but again, what I was expecting was like an era shift, a shift in eras. You know what I mean? Like that's like the difference, because it was like, again, it's not necessarily just me that was coming in like being like randomly like, oh, KyoAni should obviously make the best series ever, like hands down from this. KyoAni themselves set that bar up. That was the thing. So that was
Yeah, but that's only gonna happen after the like 10th free movie, you know?
yeah, I know. It's like at some point like my bar's gotta lower, but maybe it'll happen after the 12th free movie.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was my biggest disappointment again. I know it sounds harsh, but that was just like the amount of difference that I sort of expected from KyoAni.
I feel you.
Yeah, honorable mention to Irotuku Sakai no Ashitakara. He works into better than this. I don't want more glass lips garbage. Just put that in the backyard and just shoot it. Like I don't need that shit. Dark.
Okay, so this is what I meant earlier when I said that this is going to get interesting when I bring this up. My biggest disappointment was actually Uzumate.
Yes, yes. No, no. I know your points about Uzumade, right? Especially after the second mate comes up.
Yeah. So like the first 4 episodes of the show, or like 5, good, and then the second mate shows up, and then actually no, it's like the first 4 episodes were good, and then the second mate shows up, and like nothing happened. Like there's no character, like nothing happened for 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Like the show completely shifts. It shifts away from being, like the gambit in the first episode that was good was A, the audiovisual really B, they did like the jokes of like the maid not only just being but the muscle maid like
Right.
aspect of it, the military aspect of it, and it actually like had a lot of stuff going on with like there's a lot more to the jokes. And then episode 2 continues that, and there's development between the two characters, like between the maid and Misha.
Right. The little girl.
So like, yeah, and so like that was good. Like that was what I liked. I expected it to just be that until the end.
Mhm.
And then the second maid shows up, kind of just starts running gambit over and over, just like joke.
Right. Doesn't
Not
give any
much
real time
development.
for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it turned into. I mean, I think I was telling you, I was like, it literally made me feel like this is Zoomer. Like this is
Ichisumaru, yeah.
yeah, this is just Zoomer. Like they're doing the same thing over and over again. There's nothing going on. There's no actual development. And then like episode 8 comes around, or like 8 or 9, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's good again, and then it just drops again.
Right. It's very, very unfortunate how that happened.
Yeah, it was strange, and it's I don't know if like the manga itself has some downtime, and for some reason decided they should straight adapt it in, but I don't know. It just wasn't what I expected, especially after getting through like 2 episodes of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and the honorable was going to be actually, well, I mean, it was going to be a sub award for me as well, but it was like the strangest sequel, and Prince just brought it up in the chat. Is that Amanchu Advanced? Like, I liked it, but the second season gets in weird dream shit half the time. It's not about diving 90% of it. Like, characters start sharing dreams. One character gets like spirited away in a dream, but I don't remember if it even was a dream or not. It was very, very strange.
Right.
I also know the weird thing is too is I personally don't think that dreams in a show in general should ever be depicted as normal. I thought Gridman did it very well by having like really hard shadows and like details missing in places and like super close-ups and stuff to make things seem like a dream.
Right, exactly.
Don't actually see detail in things. Like there's nothing that's going to be a wide scope, but a Manchu kind of just has it like, oh, here's regular scenes with like weird imagery at one point. Like a flying boat just in a regular scene isn't enough to convey a dream prop. So,
Right.
and I think half of the season being that was strange,
Yeah.
but not my biggest disappointment.
Yeah, it's very wonky how like that sequence worked out. Oh well. Nier, biggest disappointment, please.
um, so mine's not a series. Funny enough.
What?
Okay,
go on.
Mine is the manner in which the series was presented.
Okay.
So my biggest disappointment is the fact that Megalobox was aired in 480p.
Yes.
Because why would you ever want your show to look good? You know,
Dude, it's old fashioned, dude.
like fuck it, right? You know,
It's
just
old fashioned. That's how.
just broadcast your, incredibly well animated action series, in 480p when, like, everybody in Japan owns 1080p TVs. You know, that's a good idea, right?
That's why everybody in Japan streams the Nico like all the time because it's a throwback to when everybody was forced to watch it 360p.
Yeah, that's why they yearn for the good old days of Ashton Ojo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck
God.
that shit. That honestly pissed me off so much, especially when
so fortunate.
especially when people, because when I first was like questioning, like, why is this show so blurry? Does it just look like shit? And then people were like, no, it's broadcasted in 480p because it's an homage to Ashton Joe, you stupid idiot. And I was like, okay, why would that have been my first conclusion? First of all, and also, why are you just accepting that like it's totally fine to do? That's awful. Why would you do that?
It's like a horror series, and it's like everything's just like it's just a black screen for 30 minutes. It's like, why is it like that? It's because they're in a dark mansion, idiot.
So avant-garde. Like, fuck off, man. It's blurry. I don't want to do that. Okay? I want to see the pretty pictures in my face in high res, okay?
Right, exactly.
Just such a dumb decision.
Yeah. Okay. Toast. Biggest disappointment, please. Toast is dead.
Hello? Is this on? Yeah, it is.
Biggest disappointment?
My biggest disappointment this year was that they announced Stay Alive 3 next year. Not this year.
Oh my god. Alright, Toast.
Oops, what is this?
Thank you, Toast, for your biggest disappointment.
My real disappointment is...
Okay.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Is it Fate Extra?
It's going to be Fate Extra Last Encore!
How did I guess? You've told us this, yes.
Gonna put it real big. Really big.
Thank you, Toast, for telling us about your biggest disappointment. You explained most of this during your worst studio thing, so you don't
there's some... Nero's really good. Nero saves this series, even though it's really bad.
Even though it's really bad?
There's just so many problems with the writing, and it's just the writing, man. Natsu's all like, "Oh, I made this series for both new people who don't know Fate Extra and those who do," and it's for not for either. It's really bad.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. Yeah.
There's so much I have to say. I've basically said it every time I bring up Fate Extra.
It's painful. Yeah. Again, very, very unfortunate.
It's why talk about a war that happened 1,000 years ago? Give you a blank slate character and be like, hey, we're gonna remove all the character traits of your main protagonist because guess what? The female version that you're based off was actually way cooler in every way possible. It should have been the protagonist of this series. Maybe that way Nero could have had some other characters that shone just as brightly as her because Nero carries the whole dang thing.
Again, very, very unfortunate. But,
It's
yeah.
what's that thing called? Nero Fest?
I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
That's what it's called, right? Nero Fest.
Yeah, Nerofest.
It's like
Yeah, okay.
Phalas Encore is like Nero Fest, but instead of participants, it's just Nero doing everything.
You know, I honestly have a theory about like the way Nasu writes Nero into stories, because every time she shows up in FGO, like everything around Nero like drops in quality, right? Um, I honestly think Nasu likes writing Nero so much that he forgets to write like everything else up to par. Like he's way too focused on like writing Nero's dialogue and how cool and epic Nero is that like he just completely forgets about everything else.
But can you blame him? Nero's super good.
I mean, I kind of hate seeing her now because everything around her drops in quality whenever she shows up. So yeah.
You know how there's that joke where Nero's really bad at singing, and she'll lock you in the Coliseum to watch her like 72-hour marathon like of singing. See, there's very people who would actually do it, like me. Like I do it, sure, I like it, but I understand that some people wouldn't, or they probably die. That they just can't handle the Nero. They can't, as the kids say, they can't handle the Umu like I can. So sure, Fate Extra Last Encore. You are written for me and no one else. Don't believe Taku Nasu's lies. Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
I mean, I'll still rewatch it, but that doesn't mean it's as good as Fate Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah.
I've only watched it like at least how many views does this video have now? Okay, at least 1,000 times, so whatever.
Okay, so with that, we are going to just cover a little bit of our, small, individual awards if we have any before we go on to worst and best. For here, I just want to do for me personally, and I think Dark might also want to jump in a little bit.
I have some.
Yeah, again, we're going to go through a little bit, but well, one or two preferably. But I just have some voice actor and newcomer voice actor stuff, the standard stuff, but I want to put in extras, and I think Dark might want to jump in. I'm just going to go through these really quickly. Voice actor, obviously, or I guess like voice actor awards in general, I kind of put in terms of just the exact roles they did, how many roles they did, like main roles, stuff like that, and bigger shows, smaller shows, etc., and how like not only how prolific they were, but the actual like ranges they displayed. So my award this year would go to Kayana Ai. So mainly based off her work in all these different series where it's Brand Crest Senki stuff and stuff like
Who is she? Garika Senki, the main girl?
Marin. I don't know who. No, it's not the main girl. But she did obviously help with Lord of Vermilion, Yagata no Kimi, Naru, Bloom Into You. She was main character in Board School Juliet. I think she did the mother in Sore Yori mo Toe Basho, or Place Further Than the Universe, right? So the point is that she not only was doing all these different series, and you know she oh yeah also and she also did Alice in Alicization Sword Art Online. But the point was that she displays all these different ranges, whether it's like the standard like rom-com main hero and schoolgirl, or like a doting mother, or like a different like strong like confident knight or whatever. So she has all these different roles. So I think she's very very strong in how she did went through all of these. Honorable mention goes to Kaede Hondo or Hondo Kaede, doing various stuff. Boarding School Juliet, Chiyo no Tsukakuro, Comic Girls, Hinamatsuri stuff, Iroduku, Magical Girl Sight, Zombieland Saga, the main character, or no, not the main, one of the girls in the Zombieland Saga, stuff like that. So, no, it's the main girl in Zombieland Saga. Never mind, I lied. So, she definitely went through a lot of different stuff. Very, very prolific this season, or sorry, this year. So, definitely honorable mentions. Dark. Did you want to say anything about best voice actor, or did you only have newcomer?
So I had best voice actor cast as mine. I like made a little caveat.
Mhm.
So I think like the best cast, in my opinion, was Sunohara.
Okay.
That show wasn't the best show ever, but boy, did its cast carry the entire thing.
Yeah, for sure. It was like, look at me. I have Rita Satara as the mother. Like we have Aya Sakura like just sitting over here on the side, stuff like that.
Yeah. As far as best newcomer, I'm not gonna say all of their names, but I said the main three of Asobi Asobase
Mm-hmm.
because they're not like I think one of them wasn't entirely newcomer, but two of them, well, all of them I think is their first main roles.
Mm-hmm.
And they killed it. So definitely like a standout show and a standout performance from
Yeah.
especially as their first like roles
Yeah.
was very impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so moving on to newcomer. I think for me there was one clear like newcomer voice actor that I was just like I looked at her list and I was like fucking amazed. It was actually the silliest thing. So her name is Kusunoki Tomori. I'll link this in chat too. And if you look at her list, this is like all like late 2016 or late 2017 to early 2018 stuff. And she gets a supporting role in Kuchira, and she gets what is it? Some supporting roles and stuff like Soul Star or Akane Shoujo, which is like standard stuff, right? But it's still like they're not like like super like small series or anything like that. And she gets one of the main roles in Anime Yell. She gets Merhan Mitien and one of the main roles in Merhan Mitien, which a lot of other big voice actors jumped in on. So it's not like there was no competition there. And she does the main role in Dangan Online. So that was like I don't know. It's like fuck. Like I looked at this, I was like, what's going on here? Like, what's going on here right now? It's, like in comparison, there are people that have done voice acting for like 5+ years and do not have as many main roles as she does in like 1 year and like a half. Like that's how fucking mind blowing this is personally to me. So definitely getting my award for this year. Dark.
What?
Did you have anything for a newcomer voice actor?
Yeah, I said mine first. I cut you off.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
didn't
Yeah,
realize.
you're talking about Snohara.
But honestly though, I didn't know that she was a newcomer.
Yeah.
So damn. If I
Yeah,
was to pick a single newcomer, it would probably be
yeah, but there are definitely the overall cast is definitely stuff like Sunohara, stuff like that, really strong.
No, yeah, I mean, no, Asobi Asobase, like, they're the three mains, they're newcomers. So
Yeah, exactly.
for that to be their first role, I thought was very impressive.
Yeah. But that was it. And Nier, did you have any like one or two like other side stuff that you want to add? Chuck in.
Sure. Best Hanakana goes to Ayane Takatatsu.
Shut the fuck up.
No, really. I did want to give in my opinion, best newcomer was Kana Ichinose, who voiced Ichigo in Darling in the Franxx.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
I thought she deserved some recognition. I thought her performance was very good, and she got a lot of flack for voicing that character.
Yeah, when the plot was just the
I
plot.
don't
Was the plot.
think she deserved any of it.
Mhm.
I think she did a fantastic job. I think
What do you mean?
she did a good job bringing
You
that
mean to
character
tell me
to life.
she didn't write that character?
Yeah, she believe it or not, she is not.
She wrote
that
the
character.
lines for that character. Personally,
I think she did it. She did a good job,
yeah, definitely.
and she should hold her head high. But other than that, I was gonna give. I was unironic. Honestly, I was actually thinking of giving best voice actor to Hanakana, but I don't know. Is that too much of a meme? I feel like she did pretty good this year, though. Like she did some good roles. She was in Haruka Saibo.
Well,
She was in
again,
Happy Sugar Life.
this is what I keep saying. It's like I like supporting. First of all, she's good with her supporting stuff. But that aside, like I think you can't deny that her voice has value, and she does when she does like her supporting stuff. I think her supporting roles are very good. Like, but when she's like kicked up to the curb and it's like do this character, I think it's a little bit. Although I do think that when she did Sato in Happy Sugar Life, like that was what Nadeko sort of should have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be honest,
that was what everybody wanted.
She almost reaches that in second season, right?
Mhm,
Where she has that one moment where she
Right.
breaks down.
Like boom.
Right. But yeah, other than that, she didn't really do. Still did not do a very good job as Nanako. But I think she did. I think she did do pretty good this year.
Yeah, laid it out pretty solid, definitely.
So I will change my best Hanakana from Ayane Takatatsu to Kana Hanazawa.
Oh god.
She was pretty good.
God damn it. All right,
yeah,
toast.
Those are my other awards.
Okay, good stuff. Toast.
All right. Here's my list. Let me pull it out. Best voice actor overall, Sakura Tange.
Okay.
As the voice of Sakura Kiyomoto in Card Captors Clear Card. And Nero.
And Euro. I knew that was coming down the line.
Best newcomer voice actor. Oh.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like voice actor.
Shima Bukuro Miyuri. She voiced Yuna Yuna, and Yuna-san. And also Nagisa and Hanebado.
Yeah, Hanebado, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
But what else do I got? Best isekai this year. Gonna go to Slime Tensei. Thank God. Goblin Slayer does not count as an isekai. And Death March, not so good. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, it's good, but it's not Slime Tensei level. Worst isekai, Death March. Don't watch Death... No. Was it Smartphone this year? Yeah, don't watch Smartphone.
Was that this year?
Yeah, I think it was. Because I was comparing Death March to Smartphone quite a bit.
I
don't know.
Was it?
I guess. No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. It was 2017. Yeah.
Okay, then don't watch Death March.
Don't watch it either way. It's funny.
Don't watch Death March. It sounds good at the beginning, but then it gets kind of boring.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, but most people won't. What else was there? Oh, best anime movie. Tell you what, there weren't many good anime movies this year. They're all
Really?
strong.
Wasn't there fireworks? The fireworks one was pretty good, apparently, right?
Is
They're
that the se-
yeah, and also Pancreas.
Pancreas just came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen Pancreas yet, so that can't count. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
give it to Boku no My Hero Academia, Twin Heroes,
Oh my god.
because
This guy.
it's basically the only movie that I watched this year.
It's not Ken.
That's fine.
Oh, well, Akio was also out this year. Yeah, I forgot. But anyways,
Oh, and I have.
Yeah.
Did I do best Fate series this year? Because I'll do that. All right.
No, okay, let's
Best
stop.
Fate series this year: Emiya Gohan,
God.
and then one more.
What?
Best new Fate servant. I'm giving it to Bradamante. Yeah.
God damn it.
With
boring?
not gonna lie, she's dressed exactly the same way that I dress my MMO characters, so she gets a huge boon on
my
that.
God.
Slut.
All right.
Don't you know near cast off is power?
Let's move
Yeah,
on. Let's move on.
And special mention goes to how do you pronounce it? Kinlang Yu? The Lancer? She's cute.
King Long Yu, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay. Thank you, Toast, for your awards. And now we'll move on to our last two awards here. And this is obviously the biggest ones. First off, the worst / least favorite series. I don't think I
Ooh.
really need to explain
Ah,
what it is.
What is the best worst series, Fire?
It's up to you to decide, Toast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can try to, explain it either way, where it's like you try to explain why it's like more or less like just there are objective things that are just terrible about it, or you can just be like, oh, this is just my least favorite series out of the bunch. Definitely going to Pop Team Epic here, with honorable mentions to Seishin Butayaro and Mahou Shoujo Site. All of these, series that he just listed were cancerous as hell, but Pop Team Epic especially, it's just like the way it tried to, set up its comedy, the way it tried to push its brand down people's like throats, the way that it was just like, oh, see, we're funny. Like it was the most like if there was like an opposite of like self-deprecating, like just like shooting smoke up its own ass. Like Pop Team Epic did so much. It was so tiring to watch, and if it was like decent, if it was like continually really good, I wouldn't even have minded that. I wouldn't even have minded like all the ads, like all the memes going on, whatever. But it just wasn't. It just wasn't. So definitely least favorite, and I think one of the worst series to come out this season. Dark.
Okay. So I had a tie, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, some people would say fortunate.
One of them I'll just throw out there because, like, listen, I didn't watch that many very, very bad shit this year.
Mhm.
So I would say worst / least favorite. And I would say there were redeeming aspects of the show. We've
Mhm.
talked about it a lot,
Mhm.
but Frank's, gotta give it to that. At least half of this has to get Darling Frank's. It's easily my least favorite that I've watched,
Mhm.
but
It's not the worst.
I wouldn't say it's the objectively worst, but it's had so many bad parts of it. Like I say,
Too many bad.
Mahou Shoujo Site, Shoujo Site, probably a worse show than Darling Frank's.
Yeah.
But as far as what I watched, I didn't watch Mahou Shoujo Site.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's understandable.
But I would say in general, even if I had watched those shows, this would still be my least favorite, just because like the amount that was riding on, like the amount of disappointment, basically.
Right, exactly.
But I would say an objectively awful show that I watched. My Gundam Build Diver. Gundam Build Divers. There's one redeeming aspect, and all it is the gunpla kits that came out. The gunpla themselves were the only redeeming part of that show. And that's it. It was horrible. I watched 19 episodes of it, and nothing happened the entire time. And not only that, this is coming off of two predecessors that were fantastic. Build Fighters and Fighters Try were amazing. Those are great shows, very well paced out, really good sports series. And then that Build Divers, when I say like nothing happens in that show, I've never watched a show and been led on so much and being, wait, where's the plot? Because like even in Build Fighters and Try, like weird shit would happen and then they would find some stuff.
Right.
They would like for Build Fighter, they went to like the major tournament and it was like, wait, but like, you know, the old president of the club is like being mind controlled or some shit. What's going on? And also, the secondary main character is a fucking extra dimension being. Bill Divers at least didn't find that by 19.
Yeah.
By episode 19, there still was not a plot. It was strange because it introduced a character that was very clearly from a different world. But they don't acknowledge it, and they don't do anything with it until at least after episode 18.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 24 episodes of the show. Very strange. And yeah, just everything about it. Everything about it except for the custom builds. It was just not good.
Right.
Didn't even have a good OP like the other.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. Nier.
Mm-hmm.
Worst series.
Mm-hmm. Oh. There's a lot of bad shit this year. Believe it or not. Fortunately, I didn't watch a lot of the bad shit. So, you know, I feel like the fact that I only watched like 5 minutes of the first Pop Team Epic episode, kind of disqualifies me putting that up there.
I mean, you watch half of the episode.
Yeah, I guess. But, I don't know. I didn't watch Magical Girl Site. I didn't watch, what was it? Fucking Dark Light Novel. Epic.
Dances with Dragons or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch, what was that one? What was that one series you were hating on super hard? Fucking Seven Senses or whatever?
Oh, yeah. She's just in the Subaru 7 Senses of the Reunion.
Yeah. Didn't watch High School Girl. But what I did watch was Irazuku, Sekai, no Ashina Kara.
Yeah.
And boy howdy, this show bad. You know,
Do you think it was worse than Glass Slips? Is my question after this.
that's hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
That's a hard question. It's really hard because I feel like this show, in a way, almost like follows in the footsteps of Glass Slips, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I went over this one. We talked about it on the podcast, but like even down to like starting off on a fireworks show.
Yeah.
This show is like, it's basically Glass Slip 2. This show is so fucking bad.
It's bad.
I think Glass Slip's probably worse, but that might just be the fact that I was actually somewhat excited for Glass Slip at the time when it came out.
Okay.
That maybe it's just souring my opinion.
Yeah.
But oh my god, this show is terrible. It's been a long time.
I think personally, like, I don't know. I feel like if you just look at the premise, Irozuku is more of a letdown. Glass Slip is just like
Yeah.
if you just look at the premise, period. If you're just like in the valley and you stay in the valley with Glass Slip.
Yeah, I guess. But like, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've watched a show, and I've honestly been like, I've actually like questioned my own decision to
Why am I
like
living?
actually look at the screen. Like, I've like baffled as to why I was watching it.
Yeah.
I think I was in voice chat with Dark when I actually like gave up on the show. I was just like, I can't watch any more of this. Like, I'm done. This show is just so stupid.
Understandable.
It's terrible. Terrible show.
Yeah. Oh, and Toast. Last but not least, what is your least favorite / worst show of 2018?
Oh boy.
I had to step away for that one.
Oh boy. What do I want to say if it was the worst show this year? Oof, oof.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just move.
It's fate, right?
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, dear. So I guess
But
don't.
I like. Do I need to keep saying it every time?
No,
Oh.
no, it's fine. We understand.
Not really.
It's
It's not good.
Yeah. Not.
it's not good, but Nero makes it good. So okay. It's not as bad as Concola. That's as much. That's the highest praise I can give it as the worst series this year.
It's not quite 6 feet under.
It's because Nero's holding your hand the entire way, and I'm like, okay, yeah. You know that scene where Shiro's standing on the thing, and then Archer's like, "That's hell you're walking into."
Yeah.
That's me watching. That's me watching a Fate Extra Last Encore.
For the 11th time.
You don't want to know how many times I've rewatched just the last 3 episodes. Yeah,
Uh,
it's okay because Nero's holding my hand the entire time. Unlike Concole, where episode 3, a ship sinks, and I was really upset about it.
something red string of fate something. But I guess
Something
very
something curry time.
Yeah. Jesus. Anyways, thank you, Toast, for your worst series
It's
here.
it's
And,
it's the worst because it had so much potential. It's not like I hate it. It's just squandered potential.
okay.
Again, it's like Concole. It's gonna be like it's like Data Life Season 2.
Very unfortunate, though.
It's a running
Uh,
theme.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Toast likes.
Jesus. But yeah, with that, we are here on our final award of 2018 for the awards show, and it is obviously our best / favorite
Best
series.
series of 2018.
And I think honestly, it would have to go to uh, Zombieland Saga. And Zombieland Saga, again, besides just being a pleasant surprise, also just um, packed in a lot of things I didn't expect. Um, Obviously, quick pace, sort of introspection, retrospection, covering, filling in the backgrounds, having the characters interact. Even when there was exposition, it wasn't necessarily bad because Miyano Mamoru really carried like these monologues and stuff like that, where like data need to be filled in. And the characters obviously they have like their idle moments and stuff like that, but when they were actually doing stuff like the insert songs and they go into this like like Japanese instrument background, but it's like a rap battle stuff like that, and people were really trying to pull out the stops for different sorts of genres and things for the series beyond just doing the idol stuff. I was very much impressed by it, and I would really like to see more of this. And adding on to that sort of like more unique idol stuff, the fact that they did handle all the other stuff pretty well, whether it's the visuals held up pretty decently, the character interactions were solid, stuff like that. And so as an overall package, what I wanted to sell, like the idol stuff, but obviously also just fleshing out the characters and stuff like that. I think they all did that pretty well, and it's just all rolled together to create something that I I kind of like I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna go just be like whatever idol kind of stuff, but it definitely was more than that. It was more than what an Uma Musume would provide. It was more than what even just like a Wake Up Girls would provide, stuff like that, and it definitely showed me a good value that a lot of other series didn't. So it definitely goes to Zombieland Saga, and but definitely also strong honorable mentions to Golden Kamuy. I thought obviously Niers explained a lot of it, just the interactions, um, the character Immortal Sugimoto is just like the demeanor, almost like the JoJo-esque like tendencies, stuff like that, and just going through all of it. The slapstick moments, stuff like that, are pretty good in Golden Kamuy. Euro Camp, I don't need to explain. Hinamatsuri, I don't need to explain all the good character interactions. And also Sorayori, Motoibashi, all these are very, very strong contenders. But ultimately, I did have to give it to Zombieland Saga. So that's my most favorite series of 2018. Dark.
I gotta give mine up to Eurocamp.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just don't really think I can't think of another show that I enjoyed consistently. Everything about it. I really like the soundtrack. I really like the opening CD. Really like the audio visuals. They were consistent throughout, and it was essentially like I didn't expect the show to be as high quality in many areas as it was when it was first coming out. And then I saw the first episode and was just honestly shocked that they keep it going. That even visually, like I think its style is really nice. I think its actual animation throughout were really, and to top it off, on it also had background. So
Yeah, definitely very solid. Nier, best series of 2018, please.
You know, I poo-pooed on this year a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I like how varied this has been. A lot of different
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, again, what I said at the very beginning of this podcast was just like individually, like each season was like pretty flaccid, and we all like almost every season we had this thing where it's like, yeah, you probably don't like most of the shows this season, right? Like stuff like that. But
Yeah.
overall, like if you just scrape out the stuff like over the course of the year, it turned out pretty decently.
Yeah, there was some good stuff. I fought with this a lot. Uh, understandably so. Saying the best show of the year, but I I think the fact that I still feel like the year truly started out with a bang
Mm-hmm.
speaks volumes in the fact that uh, still in like the first anime that came out this year that I watched
Mm-hmm.
uh, is my best anime of the year, and that's Devilman Crybaby.
Yes. Okay.
Uh, Absolutely, honestly amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Taking something as old, as storied, and as like um, culturally important as Devilman, um, and making something very modern, uh, and just I guess very tonally similar, but also very different at the same time, and just wrapping it up all in this very stylistic presentation. I think it's just it's one I think I said this last year with Hoseki no Kuni when I gave it anime of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those series that's like it's just so unique, right? that you gotta praise it. Just
Right,
'cause
right.
it's just one of those series, right?
And it actually delivers it well. Like there's a difference between like new series that just try like like the weirdest premises and then they just like flaccid like
Yeah, and then they're just
wet
whacking
dick.
shit,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But it's just good, right?
Right, exactly.
It's incredibly unique. It has style. It has substance. It has, I don't know. It's great. It's a good show. I love it. And I'm probably gonna watch it again on New Year's.
Yeah. Very, very, very solid choice. And with definitely last but not least, Toast. Favorite series of 2018, please.
Dead.
Toast is dead. It's over. Toast. All right. Well, with that, I guess we'll
You're
move
not
on.
actually giving Fate your anime of the year, are you?
I am.
Oh
What?
my god, he's so torn.
Yo, can we like actually?
He's a
Toast,
tortured man.
What's
You're
your
like
2018 favorite?
sick in the head, dude.
All right. Well, with that, we're
I
going
just
to end.
really, really like how they portrayed Nero.
Okay, then fucking just put it up. That's your favorite.
I did. You see the picture?
Okay.
You see it? You see it? That's how I bet.
All right. Toast has chosen Fate Extra Last Encore.
I really,
As
really,
his
really
favorite.
like Nero and how she carried the whole thing.
You're a sick man.
If they just had like a picture of Nero and like not even moving, just like for 12 episodes, would you would you consider that a good series?
That's what JPEGs are called, Spyro. Do you not think I have a pocket Nero
Oh
whenever
my
I'm
gosh.
feeling down? Because I do.
Yeah, he
He
is.
just wants like one featuring Hero.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that would actually get so many people. Oh my god. Don't even joke about that shit, man.
My special not fate shout outs go to Alicization for being really, really good.
Hmm.
It is it is the arc that I was waiting for Sao this entire time until they released Progressive.
Shit.
Then I'm like, oh, okay, never mind.
Okay.
So until the Sao Progressive anime comes out, which is basically the complete retelling of the entire Aincrad arc in full this time, instead of just one volume.
Mhm.
Alicization is the isekai slash MMO that I've been waiting for. It's good characters, good stuff. No weird no 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 weird Mother's Rosario was pretty good, but it's no Aincrad, and it's definitely better than Fatal Bullet. Fatal Bullet is complete garbo. If I kill you in the game, I kill you in real life.
Well, I mean,
It's
all the arcs are pretty garbo, but regardless,
yeah.
Alicization.
Yeah, that and another one for being my Knights and Magic of this year, Slime Tensei.
Okay.
Did I give it best isekai? Yeah, I gave it isekai because Slime Tensei is the last bastion of good isekai before we go into the Revenge arc, which is
Okay.
2019. So be prepared for the last good
It is
happy-go-lucky isekai before we go into the
that's
dark,
not
edgy
how
stuff.
This works. That is not how this works. But again, thank you, Toast, for providing us with your best series of 2018. Again, that's Toast with Fate Extra Last Encore. And with that, we are finally done with the awards show. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for holding on for throughout the year, for watching us here and out there. Again, we do again do this not just for like just to necessarily like I mean like views are good because we get more people in talking with us, but ultimately the point is to talk about anime, manga, and stuff like that, at a hopefully not Crunchyroll level, right? And I do enjoy everybody that comes and talks and discusses, and when we have these actual discussions about the stuff that we read, and actually go into it instead of just wow, oh fucking Franks was so good or whatever. So again, thank you everybody just for coming out here. And before we wrap up, I just want to do a certain like lightning round before we go. And this is just, what is one wish you want for anime or anime community or anything anime, manga, whatever related, for the new year? And I'll start off. One thing I really want is for I think you know I think 2018, I can see is like one of these sort of turning points where like a lot of people are kind of trying to really put CGI stuff into their shows. A lot of VR virtual YouTuber stuff is obviously really going into next group. But I would also really like for studios to the bigger studios to really stop relying on their cash cows so much. I think it's going to be obviously harder as the years go on for these household names to continue becoming household names. So I want Shaft to do more new stuff. I want Kyoani to do more stuff, new stuff, stuff like that. So here's to hoping for a more creative next year. Dark. A quick wish that you all for the new year.
I hope Railgun Season 3 gets announced really quick. Date. I hope that's sooner rather than later.
Not before Accelerator is coming out, remember?
I know. The sad thing is like I give Accelerator shit, but to be honest with you, if the manga's like release schedule wasn't so horrible, like the show will actually probably be pretty solid.
Yeah, definitely. Nier.
Well, first of all, I hope Bungo Stray Dogs Season 3 is not trash. That would be nice. I'd like that. Second of all, I hope that if 2019 continues the trend of more and more studios continuing to rely far too heavily on CG, I hope that midway through the year, Hoseki no Kuni Season 2 gets announced, and we can repeat the cycle of me being like, okay, why isn't every other studio doing this?
Yeah.
Because if Hoseki no Kuni Season 2 happens and it looks just as good or better or whatever, then like
it could even look fucking worse and it'd still look better than most of the series.
Like it's just Hoseki no Kuni was over a year ago now, right? And to me, it's still one of the most visually unique and visually impressive anime I've honestly ever seen. And yet, I still see people talk about it and be like, "Oh, it's CG, no thanks." And yet they'll watch stuff like Goblin Slayer and just all this other shit that's filled with just like absolute trash CG, and then these people would turn around and be like, "Oh, why is so much CG so bad?" And it's like, well, if you held all the CG to the same standard that Hoseki no Kuni put out, then the CG would improve. But people just go, "Ugh, CG in general." Then, well, I mean, it's not going to improve. People are just going to be like, well, they're not really saying we need to improve the CG, but we'll just keep using it anyway. It's just, I honestly just want Hoseki no Kuni Season 2, to be honest. But I don't know.
Unfortunate. But
and also I hope Hidoro anime adaptation is not in CG, please. A little bit of a double standard there, but still.
Yeah. And Toast. A wish for the new year, please.
I hope everything I like is good.
Okay, well that's
Well,
definitely
that's
good.
never happened. So
I hope Data Life Season 3 is good. I hope... What is... Ken Tensei Sword Dead Isekai comes out. I hope that's good. I hope Kuma Desuga Nanika is good, even though it's in it's in CG. It looked all right.
It looked all right. Okay.
Beggars can't be choosers.
All right.
I hope that the big three of Isekai come out next year.
Yeah.
Was it Mushoku Tensei? Yeah, I hope that comes out. That one's good.
Yeah.
I hope all the Isekai that I read get an anime this next year, and that they're good. I'm still waiting for Moonlit Journey. I'm still waiting for the onsen one. That one's good, or the vending machine one. I don't. Death Mage can be like 2020. I can wait.
Yeah. Again, we can only hope, but there are definitely also some of these guys stuff that
I
looking
hope
forward to.
Heaven's Feel Part 2 is good. And that Part 3 won't take another 2 years. It should have been yearly.
Yeah, that's being way too optimistic. But yeah, again, we can only hope. I'm definitely rooting for really any anime series to be successful, but we'll have to see here.
I hope that Tsukihime will finally get a release date.
Shut up.
Nice name, dude.
And with that, we are done with the last show of 2018. Thank you, everybody, again, watching here on our stream. And I'll try to hold back my tears until after the recording is done. But again, thank you to everyone here on the stream and to everybody listening out there. And again, thank you everybody for joining us here and throughout the year. And here's to another great next year. And with that, we are going to be wrapping up. Again, if you do like what we do, we stream every other Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about the latest and greatest in anime, manga, light novels, visual novels, web novels, and all other forms of Japanese animation. So check us out on twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimeCast, where we do the recording. Follow us here. Follow us on our social media on Facebook and Twitter at 4PPAnimeCast, all with the number 4. Check us out on our YouTube channel if you want the YouTube versions of the podcast where we upload this. And yeah, so we'll be again jumping right into the winter shows next episode. So you'll get to check us out there. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Happy New Year.
Happy Merry Kuri Tanjobi Omedetou.